On a gravity system?
Oh, just briefly. Under drugs, of course.
You'll have to go through the gravity conditioning course.
Yes, so I was told.
Proceed to the airlock chamber on your right and follow the robot's orders. Good luck. You may need it. Next.
I went into the chamber and stripped off my clothing while the robot droned its orders.
Remove all metal objects from your person. Place them in the plastic tube at your left. Now stand underneath the decontamination tube. Depress the button with your right foot. This is all. Proceed through the green door to the psychometric section. Please respond quickly to orders, and so to not impede the progress of others. Next, please.
The door to the psychometric section led into a pleasant but cold-looking room with a single metal desk. A man with a balding, high forehead sat behind the desk.
Mr. Craig, have a seat. I'm Captain Wyandotte, the psychological officer.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, well, let's see your records. You list your destination as Terra. You're certain you wish to go to Earth?
Of course I'm certain.
You're somewhat aggressive, Mr. Craig.
Look, I've been standing in line taking orders from clerks and robots for 6 hours. Every time somebody sees that I'm headed for Earth, I get the fisheye. Are they jealous or what?
I hardly think so. You've been a spaceman for 16 years, Mr. Craig. You've been zooming around in the countergraph systems in the outer galaxies without any restraints or self-discipline.
Have you ever spent 6 weeks strapped into a grav seat on a space rocket, Captain? There's a good deal of self-discipline involved in that.
I think you will find things on Terra require a different kind of self-discipline, Mr. Craig.
Well, I'm pretty much aware of what it's like.
Are you? I suppose you've heard all the popularizations in the tapezines. Well, Mr. Craig, let me give you a word of caution. It's going to be vastly different.
I'm prepared for that, Captain. Can we get going?
Naturally. You will undergo a 20-day conditioning course.
20 days?
Mr. Craig, you've been in space 16 years. Your body is conditioned to a normal state of free fall, or at best to acceleration. The return to gravity would kill you if you weren't prepared for it.
All right, what do I do?
Report to Centrifugal Department. Here are your papers. Oh, and Mr. Craig.
Yes?
Centrifugal is a rather trying ordeal. If during the course of treatment you should change your mind about returning to Earth, you're free to do so.
Thanks. I won't. I'd heard about centrifugal, but you can never really know about these things until you experience them. 4 times a day we were whirled around until it seemed as if our insides were too big for our bodies. On the 12th day, it got to be too much for me. I was in the base hospital for 5 days. My roommate was an old space bum they'd brought in to die with a case of ruptured veins. His name was Charlie Brockman.
How you feel, son?
I'm pretty good, Charlie.
You get discharged tomorrow, I hear. You gonna try it again?
I guess so.
Why?
Only way I'll ever get to Earth.
You really want to go?
That's right.
You talked to anybody been there last 10 years or so?
No, you don't get to talk to many people from Earth and the galaxies. Were you ever there?
Me? Now, what would an old space bum like me be doing on Terra?
Well, I just thought maybe...
I done most of my time in Zone 5. Out there, you get to thinking anybody who stays less than 80 light years from Earth is a landlubber.
Yeah, I used to think the same. Then I took the exam for a job back on Earth, and I passed it.
I used to think I'd like to go back. But space was exciting, you know. New and raw. It tugged at your guts, and it sent the blood rushing through your veins. But it was free. No bureaucrat ever lasted 6 months in Grav 5.
I had enough hitting atmospheres all over the universe, old man.
Maybe you're right. Lean over here, will you?
Sure.
Unbutton my pajama top, will you?
Okay.
There's a chain around my neck. Got a little message capsule on it.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Do me a favor, huh? Take it with you when you go back to Terra. Don't open it till you're on the ship.
Okay, Charlie.
And, son.
Yes?
I lied to you. I have been back to Terra. I faked some papers and made a landing there 6 months ago.
What are you doing back here?
I had to leave in a hurry.
Why?
You'll find out, son. Good luck.
Charlie died the next day. A few hours later, I was visited by Captain Wyandotte, the psych officer.
How are you feeling, Craig?
Okay.
You still want to go back to Earth?
Yes?
You're completely sure you want to live out your life there, to give up space service for it?
Look, we've gone through this, Captain. Now, you tell me that spacemen don't settle down on Terra, yet you won't or you can't tell me why. All right, what's the pitch? Does the Space Service need men so badly that they have to make it impossible for us to go back?
That, Mr. Craig, you will have to discover for yourself. You have my authorization to complete your conditioning and return to Earth as a private citizen. I wish you luck. You'll need all you can get.
Somehow I managed to survive the torments for 18 days. I was ready to return to Earth. A month later, I descended from a huge intergalactic jet at Los Angeles Spaceport. I was dead tired from the trip. I checked in at the nearest inexpensive hotel.
Oh, this is your room, sir.
Just put the bags down, will you? I'll unpack myself.
Yes, sir. Just back from outer space, sir?
Yeah, that's right. How could you tell?
Sea legs.
Sea legs?
Well, the way you walk. You can tell when somebody's been in the low-grav systems.
Oh, well, here.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Craig. For another 5 units, I'll tell you where it is.
Well, what is?
You know, the mic.
Mike?
Okay, make it 3 units. I won't hold you up.
You mean a microphone?
Yeah, that's right. They wanted to put screens in, but the boss convinced him there ain't any Freedomites ever stay here.
Freedomites?
Not so loud. You want to get controlled?
No. Here's the money. Where is it?
It's in the bed illuminator. You can short it with a razor blade.
Thanks.
You, want any sensation tapes?
What are they?
You know, mental image. Oh, boy, you've been away from Terra a long time.
Wait a minute, before you go, son.
Yeah?
Where's the minerals building? I have to report there for a job interview.
Oh, it's in the government cluster. 5th level at X and 2nd.
Thanks. I'll want breakfast about 8 o'clock.
Well, I'll need your ISS units.
My what?
Your ration units.
I don't have any ration units.
You have your ident card?
Look, I just got here an hour ago.
Oh. Well, you better go see the Civil Control Board tomorrow. If you want to eat, that is.
All right, where do I find the control board?
Government cluster. But don't worry. If you don't find them, they'll find you.
I went to sleep that night with the uneasy feeling that somebody was watching me. It had been a weird day. I hadn't exactly liked it. Well, I told myself it figured that there'd be more formalities and rigmarole on Earth than there were out in the systems, especially at first. Still, I couldn't get the idea of the concealed microphone out of my mind.
You may relax, Mr. Craig. You are Mr. Craig.
Yes, Robert Craig.
You aren't nervous, are you?
No. This is my first time before the control board, and, well, it's my first time.
Flight officer, huh? Somewhat unusual for a vigorous young man like yourself abandoning space service, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
Leaving something behind, Mr. Craig?
No.
You don't like this sort of affair, do you, Mr. Craig?
Well, I'm afraid I don't quite see its necessity. I served the intergalactic service well. My records prove it.
It's enough impertinence, Mr. Craig. Answer the questions. You are a Terran?
Yes.
Where are your loyalties?
I don't understand.
Your first loyalties are to intergalactic, is that right?
Is there a distinction?
Do you wish to be held in contempt of this board?
Of course not.
And you'll confine your responses to simple yes answers. Now, Mr. Craig, we shall begin again. Please try to show restraint of emotion. You are here to petition for an identity card of provisional code 2 type. You maintain that you've never been on Terra before. Indeed, you state that you've never had a political affiliation.
Yes.
What are your reactions to the latest acts of the Liberal Party?
I have none.
You do not condemn the Liberal Party?
Well,
Then you must favor it.
I don't know anything about it.
Now then, Mr. Craig. The import service report shows that you passed your test aboard your ship. You were unable to accomplish this through night study.
Yes.
Yet you maintain in your application that you had considered the space service a career.
I changed my mind.
Oh, you changed your mind. I see. I see, too, that you have petitioned the board for a private means of conveyance. Why do you wish to own your own transportation vehicle?
To make it easier to get around, I report to my job and...
What job?
I passed the exam for the import service. I report today.
Where are you living, Mr. Craig?
At the Star Hotel.
Very well. You'll wait outside in the waiting room until you're called again.
I waited about 2 hours in the porcelainized waiting room of the Civil Control Board. Then I was called over to the clerk's desk at a small window. He stamped some cards for me.
Craig,
Here.
here's your stuff. Class 1 provisional ident card. Sign it and fingerprint it. Don't lose it. If you do, you'll be picked up by the control agents.
I petitioned for a Class 2 card.
You'll get a Class 1. This entitles you to maintain an apartment in the lower level of the Beverly Project. Here's your clothing ration. You'll have to turn in that leather flight jacket.
No, wait a minute. I had this made on Chuan. Listen, I can remove the insignia.
That is not the point. Your clothing ration is defined by law. There are no exceptions. This is your food ration.
What's all this medical stuff on the card?
You are rationed fairly in accordance with your particular metabolism.
Oh, you're kidding.
I do not kid, Mr. Craig.
Well, what about a car? I asked to be allowed to buy a car.
Let's see. Your petition to be permitted to purchase a private means of transportation is hereby denied.
I walked out of the control board feeling like a man who has just come out of free fall into a hypergravity system. Instead of reporting to the import service for my initial job interview, I walked around the city. I don't know how long I walked, maybe an hour, maybe two. After a while, I came to the outskirts of old Los Angeles. There was a big fence around it and the usual signs. Radioactivity. Beware. It was just a pile of rubble and twisted girders. I looked at it for a while and then turned around and headed for the intergalactic freight office.
So you figure you made a mistake.
Yeah, that's right. You don't hear much about Terra out there.
And you want me to sign you back into intergalactic.
Yes.
You got any character references?
No, not here on Earth, but I can post a good-sized bond if they'll release my ISS units.
What's your rating?
I can handle anything, up to 15 G's acceleration on my old license.
You got a Tehran contract with import service, you said?
I haven't started work yet.
Look, kid. Mr. Craig, is it? How long you been on Earth?
2 days.
So you're a spaceman. Flight officer, ex-flight officer. You know how to navigate through 4-star zones and the asteroid belt thrown in. You got a license for 15 G's, could get 5 more with a check flight. You got enough brains to pass the import senior router's exam. But you ain't got enough sense to come in out of the rain. We get guys like you every day. You're hot, you're big, you're raring to go. But you ain't gone nowhere.
I'm listening.
I don't know how you got here, Craig. Maybe you did quit honorable, or maybe you went and burned up a colony someplace.
That would be in my records.
The point is, it don't make any difference. Nobody leaves Terra without a permit. Nobody gets a permit to go back to space once he hits this old apple.
Why not? They afraid somebody will tell what it's like?
Oh, son, you got things to learn. One is you don't go shooting off your mouth. Another is Terra's changed a lot since the radioactive wars. We're going places, doing things. Big places, big things. You've got to fit into that, kid. Move with it. Stick around. You still got your sea legs. You're gonna like it here. You can make a quick dollar and spend it quick, too. But you'd better smarten up, or you'll finish scrubbing radioactive dust off girders.
That's the story, huh? The whole story?
That's it. Everything runs by a system. And, son, you can't buck the system.
Yeah. I don't suppose there's any place around here a guy could get a quick drink.
Oh, yeah, out at the end of Y Street, they got a little place you can buy Acadian tars. Pluto's, they call it.
Thanks.
Yeah, get it out of your system and then settle down. That's my advice.
Thanks. So long.
Get me the control agent. He just left here. He's on his way to the Pluto Cafe.
Hey, waiter, bring me another drink for the young lady. Now then, where were we?
Well, I don't know. In fact, I still don't know why you're buying me free drinks.
I told you I want somebody to talk to.
You a purist? Or maybe you don't like the brand of sensation tapes they're peddling these days.
You know, you don't have a bad face, really, underneath the makeup. I mean, it's a little crooked, but it ain't bad, really.
Thanks. Does me pretty good.
Well, what's your name?
Gloria?
Oh, sure, I remember. Gloria!
Maybe you had enough to drink.
No, not yet. You know, I look around, I see all these people with their faces all froze up like plastic. And I feel like I got to know somebody, or I go out of my mind. So what happens? Everybody is afraid. I mean, what happened? Whatever happened to freedom? What's the matter? Did I say something? What's everybody so quiet about all of a sudden?
Okay. Come with me.
Hey, well, who are you?
Control board agent.
Hey, I wasn't with him. Honest, he just picked me up and bought me a drink and started shooting off his mouth. I wasn't with him.
Let's go, Mac.
Wait a minute, what for?
You'll find that out. Come on. On your feet.
Okay, come on, keep your hands off. I'll go with you.
Everybody else just mind your own business. You, girlie.
Yeah?
Let's see your ident card.
Here.
You live at this address?
Yeah?
Alone?
With my sister.
Maybe some nights you could go to a movie or something. We could spend some time getting acquainted.
Yeah. Yeah, sometime.
Good, I'll call you.
Hey, I need my ident card back. I can't get rations without it.
I'll keep it. Bring it back myself.
Why don't you give the girl her card? No!
Or maybe you mind your own business. Let's go. You walk just a little in front of me.
He was a big man, maybe 250 pounds, and he shuffled when he walked. He'd hit me right across the right shoulder with a sort of rubber truncheon. Now it began to ache. We're walking along a sort of back street. Everywhere in the universe there were such streets. Streets where you could find freedom in anonymity, a compromise between lawlessness and law. They are permitted by the authorities because it is necessary to have a place for those who are not permitted elsewhere.
Okay, step into the doorway. Hurry up, you fool. We're being followed.
Well, we're followed by whom?
Don't ask questions. Who's you told?
Don't I have any rights?
You got the right to get hit over the head unless you do what you're told. Now, quick. Hey, come in. In here. Hurry.
Hey, who are they shooting at, you or me?
Both of us. Down these steps.
Stop! Stop or we'll fire!
Through this door. Now, duck behind that pillar. Don't make a sound.
You see them?
Not a trace.
Come on, they probably slipped out.
Walk through the tunnel behind you. One false move and you're finished. Go on.
From the direction of the tunnel, I guessed it was part of an old sewage system that led toward the ruined city. I don't know how long we walked, maybe an hour. Finally, we came to a small wooden door.
Stop here. Okay, let's have it.
What? Have what?
The tube.
I don't know what you mean.
Our detectives picked it up on you the minute you got off the plane. You're carrying a radioactive message tube with a periodic emission signal. I'll need to have it before we can go any further.
You mean the tube that old Charlie gave me?
Old Charlie?
Yes, Charlie Brockman. The old spaceman who was in the hospital with me.
Where is it?
I think it's in my pocket. I never even bothered to open it.
Do it now.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Open it.
It's empty.
That's right. The message is in the tube itself. We identify our people by the radioactive pattern.
Our people?
You'll see.
Come in. Make it fast. This the one?
This is the one.
Has he been drugged?
He's had PON. A massive dose at the Pluto.
Good. Mr. Craig, my name's Cocteau. This is Mr. Brannigan. You're probably quite bewildered about all this. Let me clarify the situation. You're now in the headquarters of the Freedomites, underneath the radioactive part of old Los Angeles. Mr. Brannigan is not a control agent. He's one of our men. We've been watching you ever since we detected the message tube as your ship was approaching Earth.
Now, wait a minute. You guys are Freedomites?
That's right.
You're pretty illegal, aren't you?
Let's say our lives aren't worth a snap of your fingers if we're caught.
All right, who are you? Where are you from?
Most of us are from the same place you're from, outer space. Many of us had the same history you have. We shipped into Earth and became disillusioned and went to the intergalactic freight office to apply for a job. The man at the office, the man who made the speech about coming in out of the rain, is one of our agents.
Aren't you taking a chance telling me all this?
Not at all. At the Pluto, you were given a massive dose of PON. You won't remember anything that happened to you after the drug hits you in an hour or so. It works like a shock. Everything will be repressed into the unconscious.
Oh, I see. Very neat.
It will exist in your unconscious, however. Somewhere, because you're the kind of man you are, because living in space has taught you the blessing of feeling free, you'll be able to draw upon your unconscious knowledge when you need to.
And when will that be, Mr. Cocteau?
That depends on whether you decide to join us or not.
Join you in what? I haven't the faintest idea of what you're trying to do. For all I know, you're a bunch of traitors. You know, I've heard this comes the revolution stuff before.
My friend, you're woefully ignorant of our aims, as is to be expected. We anticipate no revolution. We print no leaflets, publish no newspaper, and we have no world plan for conquest. The kind of totalitarian mind which subscribes to tight economic systems like the ancient Marxism of the communists is abhorrent to us. We're interested in only one thing, the preservation of the idea of freedom. Our fear is that men will forget what it's like to feel free.
Well, how do you expect to accomplish this?
Our concepts are being kept alive in only one place in the universe today.
Outer space?
Exactly. On the frontiers of the universe, where freedom is a condition of life and growth.
Suppose I join you. How can I help?
You're an experienced pilot. We have enough connections to do some plastic surgery on your face and get you a position piloting a spaceship again. You'll remember nothing of your mission, but you will remember that you have been back to Earth, what it was like. You'll be able, carefully, of course, to tell people, to help keep the idea of freedom alive. Think it over carefully. You have 20 minutes before the drug takes effect.
I don't need 20 minutes. I'll do it.
Good. In exactly 48 hours, you'll wake up in your hotel bed with a new face, the identity card of a man named Harold Janus. You'll not remember how you got them or why, but you'll know what to do with his identity. He is, or was, master navigator on the Earth-Mars run. Good luck, Mr. Craig.
I woke up in the hotel bed, feeling like a man who has hung one on but good. I looked into the mirror and I saw the face of another man. I looked in my wallet and discovered that I was Harold Janus, navigator for Intergalactic, holder of a license for 15 Gs. I wondered where it came from, how I got it, but I asked no questions. This license, this ident card, meant freedom. I walked out of the hotel feeling steady for the first time. I'd gotten my sea legs at last.
You have just heard X-1 presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features The Venus Trap by Evelyn E. Smith. One thing man never planned to take along into space with him was the eternal triangle, especially a true blue triangle like this one. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Sea Legs, a story from the pages of Galaxy, written by Frank Petrocchi and adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were William Redfield, James Stevens, Stan Early, Charles Penman, James Dukas, Richard Hamilton, Jack Orison, Jack Grimes, Craig McDonald, Ralph Bell, Kermit Murdoch, and Frederica Chandler. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production. Hear politics and primaries, Dateline, Ohio, and Indiana, tonight on NBC Radio.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How are we today? I are here. How are you? How are ye? Totally. Do I sound okay? Am I coming through strong, loud, and clear? Should I turn me up a little bit there? How's that? Yeah, there you go. All right. So anyway, I'm here. I'm back. I'm here. I'm weird. Get used to it. I mean it. I mean that. Just like it sounds. I'm here. I'm weird. Get used to it. And if you can't get used to it, then get on with your bad self. Right? Right? Well, I've had a little something to nosh there. I've had a little Danish. And now I'm having a little Colombian. So I slept right through my nighttime show last night. I needed it, and it was good. It was really good. After the show, I had a little something to eat. My wife made biscuits and gravy, and I passed out. Actually, I was asleep when she made it, and woke up and ate and went right back to sleep. And then 4 o'clock came along. Actually, it was 4:07. My alarm is beeping, and I'm thinking, 4:07? Did I really sleep through 7 minutes of alarm? And I did. Well, if that's the case, I just went and hit stop, and it was done. Like, all right, well, I'm sleeping then. If I can sleep through an alarm, I need to sleep. So I slept another hour and a half, I think. And then my wife and daughter came home with pizza. I was dreaming of pizza. I was laying in bed thinking, oh, I wish somebody would order a pizza, right? And I'm out. I think at one point I'm laying in bed. The house is empty, and I'm laying in bed going, pizza. And then went back to sleep. I think it was about the time the alarm woke me up at 4:07. And I pizzaed myself back to sleep, and then my wife pizzaed me awake. Hey, we got some pizza. My daughter came in. Hey, we got some pizza. Woohoo! And that was, I've got pieces of pizza in the refrigerator in baggies with my name on them. Don't eat these pieces. These are mine. It's hard to find stuff that I can eat, right? And I'm having the without red sauce now. It's got a garlic Parmesan sauce on it now, with the cheese and the bacon and the mushrooms. So it's a different kind of pizza, pan pizza, and it is a delicioso. So that'll be my brunch for today. I'll probably finish off that biscuits and gravy from yesterday. I think there's a biscuit and gravy left. And then my wife and I are going to work on the swamp cooler this morning. Since I made it through the weekend without dying. The deal was that I get some after Friday's, finishing of the shower, which took 3 days. Searching down the correct parts and whatnot. So the deal was that I take Saturday and Sunday and Monday off so that I could rest up for the show, drive back and forth to the show, and then recuperate after the show yesterday. And I did. And I feel pretty good. Well, I feel better than dead. So we're going to try to get that swamp cooler up and running this morning. Cut all of those filters, what do you call them? Pads, cooler pads. Cut all of those out, the old ones. And install the new ones. And then install that thing up onto the side of the mobile home and get rolling. Get with it, I mean, sheesh. And then I'll take a little break and try to come up with another little project to work on so that I can kind of keep moving forward with our house. Since we have to live here, we might as well have something decent to live in, right? So every couple of months I get gumption and I try to do something to make the place a little bit better. I really think I want to work on the yard, right? I think I want to do paving stones in the backyard and create a little outdoor kitchen. Paving stones are going to make it easier to hose the place down. We have dogs, so I want to make it so that I can kind of rinse the yard out where they pee. I'll leave a yard where there's dirt for them to poop and stuff, and I can constantly hose that down to flush it. But I really want to get rid of the overall idea that I can't clean the backyard, I can't clean it, I can't scrub it down. So if I get paving stones, then it's going to be a lot easier to clean the yard, right? Cleaning the yard before we do the paving stones, that's going to be the hard part. I think I want to do it in sections. We'll clear out the side here that comes down from the stairs and then turns the corner and goes that way, and I think we'll clean it all up to the end of the shed, and then I'll border it and then level it with dirt pack it all in, get it all leveled, let it harden, and then go through and start stacking in them stones. Yeah, my neck is still got a kink in the conch there. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. The way it oiled. The way it oiled. You like my shirt? Hoodoo Records here in Yucca Valley. Yucca Valley's just up the road, so that's why I say here. Here because this is our valley. This is our area. It's a basin. It's an upper basin. But from Morongo Valley out to Wonder Valley, you know, all the way out to Landers and down into the park. This is our turf, our area, right? So there's a few of these cool record shops up here. There's a White Vinyl Records in 29, and then the Hoodoo. I think they're owned by the same people, but possibly. Don't hold me to that. So there, I had a visitor to my show yesterday who was a fly on the wall. That is not a derogatory term here on my channel. A fly on the wall means that you're just watching, you're just hanging out. Your eyes are just a camera and you're just watching, right? I like to be a fly on the wall. I dig flies on the wall, not real flies. So that's cool. And then you also have to understand there's probably a lot of people watching who are incognito, and I can't even see they're watching, right? What's up with that? That's like almost, it's not even voyeurism, right? Because nobody even knows you're there, right? You don't even know you're there. Yeah, I guess it is voyeurism. That's just a hell of a trench coat, right? A hell of a camouflage disguise. Wow. Yeah. I was kind of bummed out. I had just put together some new openings for my show. And but that's cool, because all I have to do is drop in and drop out the program guide thing, and boom, I got it again. And then what I can do is I drop in a program guide for Monday into the one that I used last Wednesday, right? And yeah, and just mix them up, right? Shuffle them so that I'm still using my new openings and just kind of shuffling them up a little bit, and then at some point mix the commercials around, add in new commercials, add in some news, you know, news at 11 type stuff. I'm trying to enhance the nighttime show and make it a little more interesting. This show is not going to get any more interesting than this, so more power to you if you think it is. I've tried. Nobody wants to play. Now, as soon as somebody wants to play along, we can do that whole, hey, it's Television Tuesday, let's talk about television. But I can't do that with Jiminy Cricket and my dog. Hi, how's it going, Bessie? What do you want? You want to go to bed, or you want to go outside? What do you want to, you don't know? What do you want to do, Bessie? You want to get up in this chair? You want to go outside? Okay, I'm going to assume that little itty-bitty tiny tail wag and no change of facial expression means that she wants to go outside. Do you want to go outside? Come on. Come on. Pardon me. Well, she didn't move. I think she just got up for a drink of water. You want food? Is that what you want? It's early. You don't want to eat this early, do you? Yeah, she just wanted reassurance, so the food bowl was empty. She didn't want to eat any food, she just wanted to make sure there was food to eat. She spent a lot of time living kind of out in the wild with a lot of other animals, and food got to be a competition sport, I guess. Because when she got here, she was a food pig. She would growl at the other dogs. She would just hover around the bowl. We'd fill the bowl up, she'd finish it. We'd fill it up again, she'd finish it. And we did this for weeks until she finally got the idea that, okay, that bowl is always going to be full. And then she would leave it alone, and she wouldn't mess with the other dogs, you know. Now she just requires the bowl to be full all the time, whether she eats it or not. Now she won't finish. She used to finish a bowl. We'd fill up the bowl, one big scoop, and she'd scarf it all down. And then if we put more in it, she'd scarf it all down, right? So now I can fill it up, and she'll eat the whole thing if she wants to, right? But I can look at her and I can say, Bessie, leave some for Oliver, because he's the one that likes to skulk around and eat out of that same bowl, right? And then she'll look at me and she'll eat another bite, and then she'll leave it, she'll get a drink of water, and she'll come and lay down. So now I don't even have to tell her. Now she always leaves something in the bowl, right? She's a very smart dog. They're all very intelligent animals. And they pick up on stuff really well. Because I never force it, right? I allow them to be dogs. But, hey, look, there's somebody there. Hi. But yeah, Bessie, she requires the bowl to be full, even if she's not going to eat it. She just has to be comforted, right? So there's that. So I listened to an episode of X-1 this morning, Sea Legs, about humans having been out in space for hundreds of years. Now Earth has changed, and there's no longer freedom on Earth. So Sea Legs refers to him coming down from, the main character coming down from space and being a little wobbly on steady ground. But it's another good episode of X-1. I just finished recording up to 70-something. We're up to 70-something episodes. So I'm about halfway through the X-1 series. I plan to continue uploading X-1s every weekday, one a day, until I get the whole series on my channel so that we can enjoy the hell out of it. And I'm hoping that once I get enough stuff here on the channel, people will be more likely to watch some stuff and stop by on a Tuesday and talk TV, or stop by on a Wednesday and talk old-time radio, or on a Monday and talk film, movies. even made-for-TV movies, right? But that's the plan, Stan. So I'm kind of leaving an open, open forum to discuss any of that stuff here in the mornings, along with concerts in Southern California in its heyday, which I think was probably from about the 1980s back 100 years, right, to the beginning of Hollywood till about the 1980s. That was Hollywood's, I think, best period, right, was its first 100 years. Well, first 75 years. This last 20 years or so of garbage out of Hollywood has just been nothing but fucking propaganda bullshit, right? Or just bad entertainment, right? Just really bad knockoffs of good stuff, right? Totally fucking sick of reboots, They had the gall to make a reboot movie of The Fall Guy, right? Colt Seavers with, what the fuck is his name? Doug McKenzie or some fucking douchebag that's doing him now, right? No. The same guy that did, what was it? Ryan Gosling, right? The same guy that totally fucked up, what is that? Blade Runner, right? Give me a break. Why do they keep putting these idiot fucking people in these, roles of royalty, and we got shitheels coming up trying to fucking do it. What do you mean, Ryan Gosling? This guy can't fucking act his way out of a paper bag. And you know what? Lee Majors, not the best actor in the world, could still fucking act rings around fucking Ryan fucking Gosling. Give me a break, Lee Majors was a TV actor who did some movies, right? Responsible for 3 of television's greatest shows, right? Ryan Gosling, fucking pissant. No, I don't think so. You can keep Ryan Gosling. I'll watch old reruns of The Fall Guy and be quite satisfied. I will never fucking watch Ryan. I will not watch Blade Runner. You see 3-minute fucking trailer, you've seen enough. You've seen too much. Any of those fucking movies. The only reason I would want to see the new A Star Is Born with Lady Goo Goo Gaga and Buster Bakerfield, or whatever the fuck his name is because Lucas Nelson does the music for the movie. That's the only reason why I would, interrupt my life with some of that fucking garbage, would be to just ingest some of that music. And at the same time, I may just look up this fucking soundtrack, fuck it. Why suffer with, bullshit acting, Ugh. And of course, then there's a romance that brews. Give me a break. They're all fucking Hollywood fucking drones, Just stay away from it, Lucas Nelson. Don't let that fucking bullshit suck you in. Stay with the music. You were really smart not to come over here and move to L.A., but move to Nashville. Good on you, man. Because last thing you want to fucking do is get involved with the fucking Hollywood fucking lifestyle. Hollywood. Give me a break. Like I said, 30, 40 years ago, Hollywood wasn't a 4-letter fucking word. Now it's fucking garbage. China puts out better fucking entertainment than Hollywood. Ugh. And then there's these poor sons of bitches who were from the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and 90s, and they're still sticking with it, And now they're putting out garbage. Now they're destroying their careers by putting out garbage, right? Yeah, some of the modern stuff, with all of its modern bullshit, is okay entertainment, right? But if that's all you're going to do from now on is that okay entertainment that's, you know, supposed to be the most spectacular shit ever. That's everything that comes along is the best of the, you know, it's the most spectacular movie ever. You know, that's what you said about the last 83 fucking movies. That all sucked. So why am I supposed to believe this is, you know, 80, 88, 89, now we got 90, yeah. It ain't happening, man. I'm not buying it. It's bullshit. You gotta weed through 100 fucking movies to get to one good fucking movie. And then even then, it's like, it's only good because so-and-so was in it. That's not entertainment anymore. That's selling you a bill of goods, man, that you don't need, right? An encyclopedia salesman to a neighborhood of people who live in a town that has an encyclopedia factory. So everybody in town owns an encyclopedia set because they work at the fucking factory, right? And you're going to come into town and try to sell them encyclopedias? What makes your encyclopedia better, right? Give me a break. Nah, they're just selling garbage, you know, and because they know that people will suck up this fucking garbage. People are so used to garbage entertainment now that's where it's at. You know, that's where it's at. You get very few things that come along, and they usually come along from people who are older, right? People who grew up in the 70s and 80s, and they want that. They want to go back, and so then they create movies and shows that have that in them, have that past, that, you know, that nod to the past. And they rather than you know, future up the past, they bring the past to the present here, right? And that's why I like the Cobra Kai and Stranger Things and a few other things that have really come out on Netflix, right? Because you try to go to the other channels, and they're like knockoffs of what Netflix has been trying to do. With a few of their shows, you know, try to bring that 70s and 80s feel, you know. And it comes in waves, you know. And it really needs to come steadily. There needs to be like one channel devoted completely to like that 70s and 80s era, right? 1970 to 1989. That whole period there needs to have its own channel, right? All the movies and shows and yeah, even the shows that are, you know, made recently in the last 20 or 30 years that are about the 70s and 80s, you know. What the hell's he talking about? I don't know. I'm just talking. Because that's what I do here in the morning, is I turn on this thing and I just go, what else are you going to do? It's not like anybody's listening anyway, so I'm just going to keep going. It helps me get all this shit out of my head that normally would fuck with me all day long, you know, and I don't want to, you know, I'm not going to keep unloading my garbage on my wife, right? And my daughter, she don't understand as much as I talk to her about everything, you know. It's still Papa's past, you know. It ain't her present. I really like the fact that she listens to oldies, right? She listens to stuff from the 90s and the 2000s. And for us, that's listening to the oldies, because when we were in the 80s, we were listening to stuff from the 70s and 60s and 50s, and that's exactly like listening to the 2000s and the 90s and the 80s, which is what she listens to. She listens to that chunk of 30 years before she was born, you know, and or the years that she was young, you know. The stuff that, you know, a lot of the stuff that I stopped listening to music in 95-ish, and she listens to a lot of the stuff from 95 on, right? Which is really weird. But, yeah, we have a real connection between us involving music. It's pretty cool. pretty cool. So I guess Charlie's going to go home soon. As much as I want to continue this, we do have to get back to the whole reality of school and work and all of that stuff. So maybe at some point, well, I know Charlie's going to be back for the next concert or something somewhere soon. But this is a hell of a fun summer, you know, having somebody else around for Natalie to hang out with and you know, bond with, and most especially learn how to cohabitate with somebody, right? Because that's important. And she's like almost 20, and it's neat to do that in environments safe. I think, like I talked about it last week, where you know you don't have to worry about rent and bills and struggles and stuff, and you can just focus on getting to know one another and sharing a space, and you know, learning about give and take and all of that stuff. So I think it's been really, really cool having Charlie around, in more than one way. Really, really cool for everybody. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it's I'm mixed because, you know, I don't mind having somebody else around, you know, especially someone who needs someone to be around. Does that make sense? Like when I was 15, I left home and I was taken in by lots of different friends, families, you know, the families of a lot of my friends took me in, right? So I made the decision that if someone needs to be taken in, we're gonna try to help, right? It doesn't always pay off. It doesn't always work. And by pay off, I mean seeing that person succeed, right? Because I'm never in anything for financial gain anymore. It's just not in my makeup now. I go to work and I don't expect. I'm just doing it, right? I don't expect. So I mean, I work, but I don't. I'm just in it to further progress, I guess, you know. But yeah, to have somebody around and to know that I'm, you know, kind of paying back all of those people and places that help take care of me, you know, whether it's bringing an old friend into my house and helping them, trying to help them better their lives, or one of my daughter's friends, which is kind of more appropriate because, you know, I was really, really young, from 15 to 19, when people were taking me in and letting me stay with them and helping me. So, a 19-year-old kid, I got no problem doing that, you know. There's no way in hell that age is going to have everything figured out or anything. So that's where, you know, it takes a village, you know, and I'm part of that village. So whatever I can do with whoever I can help, you know, that's why I'm here. That being said, we have to get back to some kind of normalcy, right? And having another body in the house doesn't quite work with that. If it was, you know, if we had a big place and there was plenty of room and that kind of stuff, and an extra room, you know. But once we get back to schoolwork and stuff, you know, my daughter comes first. She's going to have her area, her world back to normal so she can function with school. That's it. Well, I'm pretty sure that most of her stuff's going to get done at school this semester, because she's going to be spending a lot of time there when she's not in class. So that's a good thing. Hopefully she won't be bringing much homework home, you know, having all of that time to focus on an academic rather than all of this procrastinating that she did before to get this much done. Now she'll just go, she'll get this much done, she'll get this much done, she'll get this much, and she'll be done. That's it. So I think it's going to be better for her, and I think she'll really, really enjoy getting it all done at school and not bringing any work home with her. I think it's really going to help free her up to enjoy her life. She's going to go to school 2 days a week and have a couple of night classes a week, right? She's got 3 classes during the day and 2 classes on the computer. Or 3 classes at school, 2 classes on the computer. She's taking 5. She's supposed to take 6, I think. But she's going to be taking 5. And then she's going to take 5 this semester, and then next semester she's going to drop down to 4, and then just stay an extra semester to help finish her degree rather than try to jam it into 2 years. She's just going to take the extra time, you know. And then what that will do is she'll have 1 semester on in her 3rd year, and then 1 semester off, and then she'll graduate, right? And then she'll have the summer off. So she'll have 2 whole semesters, spring and summer, where she'll have off before she'll have to go back to university to begin her master's degree, right? If she so desires. So that'll give her 2 big chunks off to do stuff, right? To take a break. And I don't really want her to get into the idea of working yet. I really want her to focus on her studies so that she's really got enough to go out and write her own ticket, right? That's so important, right? I'm not talking going out and earning mega bucks. What I'm talking about is going out and doing that. Whatever money she makes, she's going to be doing something that she loves to do, because she has the degrees behind her to back up her saying, look, this is what I can do, this is what I want to do. She can negotiate her fair pay, but at the same time, when it comes right down to it, at the end of the day, she's doing something that she loves to do. And that's what all this is about. So that when she does start working, she decides. She doesn't just take what's out there, what's available. Well, there's jobs at Walmart, there's jobs maybe at the school, there's jobs maybe teaching or helping out at a company in the HR, but there's not much. But, you know, if she can write her own ticket, then it's like, okay, well, now we're going to move to this place over here because they want me and I want that position, and that's going to enable me to just get up in the morning and be myself all day long and love everything that I do and go to sleep a happy person and get paid for it on top of that. That's the bonus. You know, doing what you love to do, that's the payoff. Getting paid, that's a bonus. And I want her to learn that. So everything she goes after, she's going after for herself first, and she's able to get it, right? And then the money's involved. I don't want to raise a capitalist or a consumer or a Republican or Democrat or communist or whatever. I'm raising a human first and foremost. That's her main label. Her second and only other label is that of a good human. That's it. That's it. She don't need to worry about anything else. Any other label is for other people to categorize her. She is her own person, okay? I had to act out and be rebellious and be something other than I was, to be my own person, to be recognized, right? Because you had to break so far out of that mold. She don't have to do that, you know? She was born into exactly who she's going to be for the rest of her life, and she has evolved on her own, right? I'm just fencing in to keep her out of trouble, right? And to keep the assholes away. That's it. And to throwing out the correct stimuli to move her in the right direction. That's all we've ever done, you know? We don't, you know, never had to spank her, never had to yell at her, never had to go freak out, never had to do all of those other things that other parents claim that they have to do. You don't have to do. You don't have to raise kids who you want out of the fucking house at 18 or earlier. Fucking teenagers. I've never had to say that. I've never screamed about, oh, That's just ridiculous. And I never will. You know? Come in here. Come and lay down, Sam. Come on over here, Sam. Good morning, little feets. What's up? Yawner. You're yawner, huh? Totally. Totally. No way to lose weight. All right. Let's see. Oh, my wife picked up some soup. I said, I gotta start eating soup. So she brought home soup. So now I've got a little broccoli cheddar soup to eat with some pizza for probably dinner. I think I'm gonna do that for dinner. They'll usually do tacos or rolled tacos or, you know, some kind of big dramatic meal. And at this point, I just want a little soup and a half a sandwich or a little slice of pizza or something I can dunk. But nothing too extreme. I think we've got like a bunch of tomato soup. I'm like the grilled cheese king, right? I like real big artisan bread, right? Make a big giant with some really good gourmet cheese, you know, and make a really nice grilled cheese. And then take some tomato soup and then kind of spruce it up a little bit, add a little bit of this and that, little basil, a little parmesan, you know, spruce it up a bit, maybe some green onions. And, yeah, talking about food again. Oh, talking about food. Talking about food now. Talking about food now. Hi, Sam. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Uh-oh, Big Bessie. She says good morning. Hi, good morning to you. No, you can't have my coffee, and there's no cereal bar, no Danish, no nothing. There's dog food. But you're not getting my coffee. Hi, Sam. You want to get in bed? You get in bed? You can get in bed. You can get in bed. You know, because you're too big. Where do you want to go, Sam? You go with Mom? You go outside? All right, let's go. Check it out. What about you? You want to go outside? Yep. Hello, this is Carlton, your doorman speaking. How can I help you? Hello, this is Carlton, your doorman. How can I help you? I am Carlton. Yeah. So, like, anyway, like I was saying, I've got like a bunch of crap I gotta do, you know? Yeah. I need to get another external hard drive is what I need. I am running low on memory, and at some point I'm gonna have to start downloading all of my live stuff and bringing it home here. Right? mean, a lot of people really do this YouTube shit as a hobby in their spare time. Like on a weekend, they'll write up something and they'll produce a little video, and then they'll, boom, post it up, or every couple of weeks, or, you know, I mean, how often does Hecklefish hit YouTube, or the History Guy, right? But I'm like, even people who do blogs and live stuff, live streams, probably aren't on as often as I am, or upload as much crap as I do, right? Or leave as much live stuff around. I mean, what I see is a lot of people that they go live, and then sometimes it's saved and sometimes it isn't. It's like, well, this show's not good enough, so I'm not going to leave it. And I just fucking leave everything, right? It's like, hey, this is me. You know, this is reality. This is the realest reality show out there. This is, you know, I ain't pulling any punches. I try not to offend anyone, but at the same time, I'm not here to keep track of other people's fucking emotions, so I don't really worry about it. You know, I mean, when I was a kid, when I was growing up, when I was a young adult, all through my life, I mean, I am responsible for my emotions. You don't fucking make other people's responsible. You did this to me. You made me feel this way. You know, that's pussy shit there. Suck it up. Pull up your fucking pants. Get a belt, some suspenders, and deal with it. You got problems? Don't make me responsible for them. You know, if I say something that offends you, I ain't doing it to offend you. You're offended because you're a fucking sniveling little baby. Go get some psychotherapy and deal with it. You know, don't fucking blame me. He said this. It's too fucking bad. I'm going to say a lot of shit. You know? It's the way it is. That's the fucking way it is. I ain't here to coddle, man. Nobody fucking coddled me growing up. You know, I don't go for that whole cancel culture and, you know, woke and, you know, you have to worry about everybody's feelings. Fuck that. You know, you worry about your fucking feelings. When you can come out into the real world and deal with it without being a fucking little crybaby, then come on out, you know. Don't fucking point at me and go, he said bad things about me that hurt my feelings and made me feel. It's like, well, it made you. It's your fucking problem. Wake the fuck up. Deal with it. You know, and if you can't fucking deal with it, then fucking hire somebody to fucking deal with it for you. You know, go get a fucking shrink and have them help you through the issues that you can't, that mommy and daddy put on you, or what fucking ever, whoever else you're gonna fucking blame. You know, jeez, where the hell did that come from? Jesus, I got pissed off all of a sudden. It was opening them damn doors for the dogs. I mean, it really. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I try to teach my daughter by example, either what to do or what not to do, or at least variations of what you could do, right? But in the end, she's her own person, and she knows that. She's not a clone of me and her mother. She's not even a combination of the two. You know, we helped create her. That's it. She's her own person. I don't look to her thinking she's going to be the continuance of our, you know, she's doing her own fucking thing. I'm not the continuance of anything that I came from, right? I'm far from that. Oh, damn dog again. So I don't expect my daughter to be. I expect her to be exactly who she is, who she wants to be. So annoying. Oy. Man. He's like, he gets there and he's like, will you pick me up? I'm like, oh, I'm not going to pick you up. You go up the ramp. We got a ramp there. Jump up or walk yourself up the ramp. And then he comes back out. Then he walks back in, looks at, will you pick me? It's like, no, motherfucker. Take the ramp. You know, and I say all of this with a finger. He looks at me and I figure him. He looks at me and I figure him. And he walks. And then goes back and looks at me and I finger him. That's communication, right? I have hand signals with my dogs, multiple hand gestures. You know, this is one of them. I do this to them and their tails wag, you know. I walk in and I look at Oliver and he's laying there and I'll do this and tail will just go one flop like a cat. He's very cat-like. He doesn't like to give his emotions away. Of course, when he thinks he's in trouble, or, you know, when we get home or something, he can't help but be emotional. But I really like when he's trying to hide his emotions, right? He just sits there, tries not to let anything affect him, and then his tail will go bump. He can't help it. Totally. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So... Oh, yeah, that movie that I watched the other week was What's Up, Doc? With Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal. Good movie. I really love Barbara Streisand, you know. I don't like any of her new stuff. I don't like any of the stuff she did in the 90s and after. I'm more of an early Barbara Streisand fan, 70s and some 80s. Anything after that, and she has become that diva that everybody made her, right? She's on that pedestal and she's loving it. And I'm not into actors who are like that. You know, that happened with Sandra Bullock and Halle Berry and a bunch of other actresses who allowed themselves to be put up on that pedestal and then became that diva, untouchable, you know, get away from me, stop touching me, you know, I'm no longer you anymore, I'm of another upper echelon. Again, it's like, I don't get into that. And once Streisand, you know, became that, I was just like, nah. But I really love her early stuff, you know, real early, all the way up into the 80s. Yentl, I'm not so fond of, but there are other ones. Isn't there the Fisher King? Is she in the Fisher King? Tell me if I'm wrong. Is she in the Fisher King? Or maybe it's something like that she's in. But that was a good movie too. The Fisher King, wasn't that? What's his face? Yeah, that was it. That was Robin Williams, plays a crazy guy, living a homeless crazy guy, right? And Jeff Bridges is a not crazy guy. That's all I remember about that movie. Of course, I remember more about that, but I couldn't make sense of it. Bong hit. Right. All right, all the groupies are out there going, all right, he's doing a bong hit. Everybody ready to do a bong hit? Yeah. Wow. I don't want to disappoint you guys, so I better keep doing the bong hits. Oh, and there she is, ready to come in with her boof.
Jeez.
So in rearranging the house and kind of putting furniture where we can put it because it's so small in here. We cleared out part of this other little area over here. It's a room, I guess. It's this other room over here under a window, and put a table there with a couple of chairs because my wife's like, I want a table. She's a traditionalist. I'm a TV tray guy. I want a dining table. Right. Moms. So we finally did that, and in moving stuff around, we wind up putting furniture into this adjacent room here that used to be the dining room. And it has now turned into what looks like a small bedroom, right? It's got a day bed in there, and my dresser, because I need a place to put all my t-shirts and pants, and a few other things in there, a table and bookshelf and my guitars. It looks like a teenager's room, right? Some posters, my Over the Edge movie poster on the wall, and some Pink Floyd and other decorative items. It looks like a teenager's room now. It really does. From the 70s, of course, or 80s. But it's pretty awesome. So I actually spent a lot of time in this front room, so it's kind of neat to have it expanded out with that same feeling. I'm listening for little toenails on the hardwood. Sometimes it's the coffee machine going click click as the temperature changes. Sometimes it's a bottle, a squashed up bottle the lid's not quite tight and it keeps expanding slowly, right? Oh, they used to bug me in the car, still bugs me in the car. Every once in a while, the change in pressure in the car or the change in temperature will do it as well. And a half-filled bottle in the car will start making noise. What the fuck is that? Something hitting the car? Jeez. Funny. Funny stuff. I think I'm going to have to sit and watch some old stuff here. It's probably going to be off my channel here. Man, I just put together a bunch of programming for August. And I mean a bunch. Where are we? August. Here is August. So let's see, I've got 12 and 10, so that's 22, right? No, that's 22 and 10, so that's 32. Plus 10 live shows, that's 42, no, 42. 42 videos uploaded every week. The live videos and the old-time radio and the educational movies In Search of Nova. That's incredible, that shit. So that's 42 videos added to the channel weekly this month. That's probably going to change. This is probably a summer thing, all of this programming. I'll probably cull out a lot of this stuff and then do my own stuff over the fall to the spring, because it feels like that's when I'm more creative, you know, and the weather's nicer and it's easier to do stuff outside, easier to get around. And right now I just haven't had the mental and emotional wherewithal to think about creation. I haven't even picked up my guitar in months, right? That's how bad it is right now. I went through a small bout of depression, and maybe I should play the guitar. I just, you know, things are going to happen, things are coming up, and I'm just not going to be playing the guitar at all, or at least singing. And I don't want to be right in the middle of something and then have to not be. So I'm just not getting started on anything. I know as soon as I start playing the guitar, it makes me want to write and create, and I don't want to get into that right now. I just kind of want to concentrate on video, right? And pretty much stuff that I don't have to create. This is enough creation for me at this point. I'm starting to get the Jones. I'm starting to think, you know what, I was thinking about music video that I've been working on since I created this song last summer, right? I wrote this song last summer, and it took months to get the song to where it felt really, really good, and then I recorded it live with a friend who then brought me some harmonica recorded to it, and now I have the completed song and video. Now I just need to take that and create an actual music video, right? And it's been a long time in production. And I feel like I'm really close to sitting down and taking all of the elements and gathering more elements and putting it all together, you know. In fact, I think I want to make 2 versions of the video, the extra long version and the short version, just the song. And the extra long version will be kind of a little build up, you know, to the video, the opening gambit of a MacGyver, right? So, and it'll be me, you know, opening up a projector screen and turning on the projector. And then what comes out on the projector will be and maybe that alone will make it into the video. Maybe it'll just be one video, depending on how long I make the opening. Maybe it'll just be that, you know, 30 seconds of me opening up a screen, sitting down, reeling the projector and push and play, and then I can superimpose stuff onto the screen, and then we can just zoom in and disappear with the screen altogether, and now we're in the video, and we can go all over imagination and back, and then end with the reel slapping, you know, and probably me passed out or something. That'd be funny. Yeah, so I talked to my wife. I said, so what do you got going on this week? You know, what are you doing tomorrow? She says, bailamos. Or bailando, right? It's like, oh, she's like, well, when you're done dancing, what are you doing? So I think I've got her talked into taking a drive to Elsinore. You know, I'm like, let's, you know, I don't want to go down, I don't want to spend any money, but, you know, let's fill the tank up and let's drive down there. In fact, let's pack a lunch. I said, let's pack a picnic lunch and take a few things down, and we'll go down there, deal with what we got to do with, and then go find a spot on the lake somewhere, because they got picnic benches everywhere in little day areas. We'll find a little spot, and we'll go out and we'll sit and we'll have a picnic lunch, you know, and I can kind of get, what I need to do is I need to get the stink of the lake in my, you know, in my face. I need to be there. I need to talk to a couple of people, feel Elsinore in my blood, so that I can get this going, right? And that's another video that I'm going to be working on. I just want to create all of my graphics and get some video and some photographs and collect all of my stuff, and then say, okay, here's my trailer video, right? Not a teaser trailer, but an actual, you know, preview of what's to come. Be there or be square, you know, kind of thing. But it's got to come out August. It's got to come out in August, a year from the event. Look, here's what's going on. Do it now. And then I need to do a chain post. I'm not one to ask for people to share. like and subscribe and share. I don't do that shit on my channel. I just tell you to watch. Hey, if you like this, watch this. You know, if you get a chance to show up and watch this. I don't like to tell people what to do. I make suggestions. Look, if you want to have some fun, stop by and watch some stuff. If you want to subscribe and like and hit the bell, and I think I did that once on one video, and it felt so uncomfortable. You know, I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I didn't take it out of the video, but I'm not going to put little tags at the end of my videos that say like and subscribe and all that. That's just playing that game. And that's not the kind of game I want to play. I want to bring something to YouTube that's different, that's real, that's reality, you know. And my reality does not go out and panhandle for likes and subscribes and stuff, which is exactly why my channel has 165 subscribers, and it fluctuates. It goes up and down. Sometimes it's less than that. Sometimes it's, you know, that's fine. I'm not out there looking for likes and subscribes. I just want to bring my world to this channel. That's it. That's it. So things are gonna, you know, be weird and different all the time. Things are gonna keep changing. It's not gonna stay the same. You know, at some point I'll go back and revisit some of the things I've done and create more episodes, right? But, you know, until I get people screaming, hey man, we want to see more of that, it's just me screwing around, right? It's just me screwing around. It's it. In fact, I may go back and retitle some of the things that are titled Episode 1, and then just remove that and just leave it as its own little video, right? So that no one's expecting, well, where the hell is Episode 2? You know, because that's what I would do. And you know, it's not really like that. It's not about creating that kind of stuff. The live stuff is like that. But that's just to keep track of episode to episode. Here's a date and episode number. You know, I'm not even going to go back and put in descriptions in my live stuff so that you know what I'm talking about. You just have to watch it and figure out. You know, that's more of him talking shit again. Man, he hates librarians. I've never said that. Never said anything bad about librarians. I dig them librarians, man. Yeah, they're all right. You know, it's what do I care if the women like other women, right? What did he say? Yeah, leave him alone, Marge. Right. All right, bong hit, ready? Librarians. Why does he do that? Doesn't he know that it's bad for him? Oh, yeah. I guess when you're raised with the mentality of cigarettes are bad for you, right? Pot's not bad for you. Pot's okay for you. It's good for you. It's been used as medicine, that kind of stuff. You know, you think that it's okay, but it's not. Smoking is smoking is smoke. Doesn't matter what you're smoking. Smoking is bad. Period. Doesn't matter what you're vaping. Vaping is bad. You're still putting pollution into your lungs. Doesn't matter what you're drinking. Drinking alcohol is bad because that alcohol, in any form, is still poison to your system, right? So, you know, none of it's good. None of it's good for you. Some of it's less harmful than others, but it's not better for you than other stuff. It's just less harmful. You know, you have to have that mindset in order to realize and make the distinction between the good and the bad. And, good is natural, bad is anything that's perverted, processed, period. There's something I wish I had taken under my existence when I was really young. After I'd moved away from my home influences, I should have stuck to my guns and stayed on that health kick that I got on when I was like 19. Got on this hardcore health kick, and I stopped smoking cigarettes, stopped smoking weed, started exercising regularly, started riding a bicycle everywhere that I went, and I did this for a while, until I just got, once again, bored with it and moved on to something else. And then it just kind of phased out, and I phased into another. And that's kind of my way of life, is to just kind of burst into something with gusto and then wear myself out and move on to the next thing, and then just charge into that. And sometimes I'll charge into something with absolutely no direction and get 2 steps and then have to just stop and go, wow, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I started this YouTube and I just charged into it doing a bunch of shit. Really didn't have any direction, right? And I still don't really have any direction. I just know that there's a lot of things that I can do on YouTube, and a lot of things that I'm allowed to do on YouTube. And having fun is the first thing. I can sit here for 3 hours a morning, 5 mornings a week, and just unload and get all this shit out of my head so I don't carry it around with me, and that's pretty fucking cool. Because I've got this voice inside my head that won't shut up. And now I can just externalize it, let it ramble for a couple of hours, and then put it back in its box, set it away. The evening show is more about entertainment fun, What kind of cool songs and commercials and stuff can I come up with to put a little show together, And that's the creative, productive, executive part of me saying, yeah, let's create a show that's really fun that people are going to dig, And nobody digs it as much as I do, Not many people dig it at all, but I enjoy the show more than anyone else. And so then it's okay. It's more therapy for me. Going out and finding those educational films and going, oh yeah, that one says something about me, my life, my home, my existence, my family, but really says something about why I am who I am. And I grab that and throw it on the channel. Yeah, I've programmed 40 out of the 50, well, yeah, almost 40. I've programmed quite a few of these educational films that I finished up to put on the channel. Now I need to go through, and last night I sat and I made graphics for every single one of the radio shows. I went and I said, all right, I got to organize this shit. So I found all of the graphics, all of the stuff, pulled it over to the one file that I have for old-time radio shows, and then have all the shows organized in files, and then in those files have audio files, graphic files, finished video files, uploaded videos, used video, and all of these files in each radio show file. And last night I organized all of the graphics, the key title graphics, which is really important. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you, because I have a computer right here, and we can share. I can share with you what I'm doing, right? Here's one. The Whistler key title graphic. And when I create a video, I'll throw this picture up, I'll fade into it, we'll fade in with the we'll fade in with the sound, and then here we go, and then the title of the episode will fade in right here with it, and then at the end the date that it was aired will fade in for 30 seconds at the end. So I'll create this. I created this title graphic here. I went and I found this photograph on the internet, because it's the internet and a lot of it's free use shit. You just grab it and fucking use it. And then I created this graphic and this graphic and put it all together and went shoobop shillelagh. And that was it. That's all she wrote, and that was that easy. So I did that, and then what I'll do is, in fact, let me show you again, is I will create the title here and the date on 2 different cards, just like I did with this, and then I'll take the photograph and I'll add these 2 different titles here, and then I'll do the same thing here, put it into the video program, add them here, and they'll fade in together, so I can just keep switching out the title and the date, right? And then switch out the audio, and then I'll go into my video program and pull in all those elements, pull in this title graphic, pull in well, this is the key title page graphic, and then I'll pull in the episode title and the date graphic, and then the sound, and I'll put it all together, organize it, fade it, and all that stuff, and then save it. And that's how I went through and I created all of the title pages, which are the photograph with the series name, and made sure I had all of those for each one of my shows, with all of the stuff organized in one file, and then did all of the episode graphics for every episode, for every show, and put them in their files alongside of the audio files. So now I can, with that, I can sit and I can just pump out the rest of my old-time radio show videos. And I'm doing pretty good. They're fun. This is the best therapy that I've ever had. Even if, like I said, even if I got kicked off of YouTube for some kind of stupid copyright thing, I would still be in fact, I'd probably do more. I'd probably double down and create even more videos of stuff sitting here just to have it cataloged. And then I would probably work on curating everything that I've done so far. Getting everything filed correctly, cataloged, put onto DVD and another external hard drive, make sure everything is safe and secure for the future, because I won't be around to make sure that it is, so I got to do it while I'm around, right? Nobody's around forever. I'm going to warm this up. It's Tuesday. That means the water is going off for the better part of the morning here of the day, because they're going to fix some pipes that broke the other day, and they just, temporarily fixed them. So they've got to take care of some plumbing issues here. So we're going to just deal with the swamp cooler and get it ready. Everything else we've put it together, and everything works good. The water comes in good now. The level's good, the pump works, the float works, the filters work, everything works good. So we're just going to change out the pads, put it all back together, and then we're ready to crank this puppy up. Of course, with no water, we can't use it, and when it's humid like it's been, you can't use it. So we're just getting it ready. And just looking at the Whistler, that title graphic there, makes me want to do my own stuff, right? It's just I have to have that
that creative thing, you know, and coming out of a few weeks of depression and just being physically wiped, right? I am just wiped out. It's hard to get the gumption together to do something like that, you know? It really is. To load up my comments just to check to see if anybody wants to say anything. But, you know, I gotta have the gumption, and I just ain't had it. So I keep in in the mix here by creating videos that I don't have to worry about being too imaginative, right? I mean, even a lot of the graphics, I just use a regular standard typeface, you know, because I don't want to get into deciding, okay, let me see, this one episode feels like this font, you know, I just don't, fuck it. So I'll give the series a cool font, you know, like the Whistler, really squiggly and stuff. But then I'll usually just standardize the title of the episode and the date of the episode, you know, NBC radio broadcast, December 7th, 1941. And I just did one of those, right? An actual December 7th, 1941. What a day for your episode to come out, right? I mean, there was a lot of movies that came out in late 41, early 42 that no one cared about because of the, you know, America getting pulled into World War II. And a lot of movies just fell flat, you know. I think, I don't even want to speculate, but there were quite a few. So anyway, like for sure, I'm talking like that in the car with 4 girls, right? And every time I did that, I'd get a little giggle. Oh my God, he's so weird, like so totally weird, my gosh. Yeah, no, it was really fun to go out and do that. To go out and make sure those kids had a good time. And like I said, I didn't do a whole lot. I was just the driver or the chaperone. You know, the guy that made sure everything was safe, right? Keep them out of trouble. Keep trouble away from them. And just allow them to do whatever they, you know, and like I said, it was weird because it was so calm and subdued the whole ride up and back, you know. Gosh, when we were going to concerts, it was just, in the car was just pandemonium, right? Just craziness. Yeah, so I was like, wow, this is weird to have this many kids in a car. And I guess it's phones, you know. I guess everybody was probably on, from what I could tell with my daughter and the one I could see off over my shoulder, you know, they were probably pretty much on their phones the whole time. I don't think all of them were. I think the younger one maybe didn't even have a phone. But yeah. Totally. I should have offered one of them a book to read. When I go out, I normally have 1 or 2 books with me in my bag. When I went out this last time, I think I had four books in my bag. You know, a couple of science fiction books, short stories, and then I took a couple of books that I've been meaning to examine, my Who's Who in Jazz, and the book that I've been reading, The Boys, by Ron Howard and Clint Howard. So I've been really enjoying that. Lately I've been so tired all the time that I can't read because it just puts me right to sleep. So what I have to do is I have to get up, have coffee, and sit and read when I know that I'm just going to go back to sleep. But at least I've got that energy for an hour where I can absorb some of the book, you know. So yeah, my plan was to to sit in the back of the car and read. But I didn't. I wound up watching Cobra Kai. You know, you got to be flexible. So I put that on and I watched 3 episodes. The last episode of the season 5 and then 2 new episodes of season 6. So that was neat. That was cool. I don't want to do a bong hit. I'll do a one-hitter. But yeah. But I really need to just sit and read. I spend so much time sitting here doing video stuff, you know. It's just more my style. It's more me. Wow, it's almost 6:30. I've been here an hour and a half already. Sure doesn't feel like it. You'd think I'd wear out my mouth. Well, you know. I try to let people know that even if I wasn't here doing this, if I was out here alone every morning doing something, I would be sitting out here most likely talking to myself or talking to one of the dogs, trying to engage them in a conversation. What did you say? Really? No kidding. So sitting here talking to myself on camera is not a far stretch for me, really. I've always had, and it's gotten more over the years, but I've always been one to sit and talk to myself. Driving in the car is when I usually get most of that done, because I'm usually by myself for like an hour and a half commuting, and then back in another hour and a half. So I did a lot of that talking to myself, mainly to keep myself from losing my job. I had to vent. I had to let that shit out. And to not bring it home with me, right? I wouldn't take any of my personal life to work, and I wouldn't take any of my work home to my personal life. And I used the hour and a half commute as a buffer, right? So that I could unload in either direction. And it was very helpful. The jobs where I did not have that time, my work suffered. My home life suffered, right? I was bringing way too much of one to the other place, and it wasn't good. So now, the kind of work that I do doesn't require that kind of mental separation, that emotional, you know, yeah. So, and I work with my wife, and we just try to make it easy on each other as best we can. So it works out perfectly, you know, whatever we're doing now. So yeah, let's see. In an hour and a half, I'm going to be outside working on, well, I'll be eating something first, but I'll be outside working on that swamp cooler before it gets too hot, because it's always hot. Always hot, you know, hot. Let's see, what are we going to say? 70, 71 right now. Well, that's pretty good. Usually it's been like, well, in the 80s. So that's good. That is really, really good. Yeah, as soon as I get in fact, working with all of that stuff last night, trying to organize all of my episodes, that's got me pumped up and ready to start organizing other things on my computer, right? So that when I get to the point to where I have another external hard drive and or I'm going to start burning disks, right, everything will be organized. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to look into zipping files. If I can zip stuff up into a smaller file, then I might curate a bunch of my stuff that way, so that it'll be on one hard drive, external hard drive as it is intended for use, and then I'll burn a bunch onto discs, all of the shows and episodes, programs, right? And then take the files in the computer and then zip them down into small little packages and drop them into another external hard drive for, you know, archival purposes, my little salt mine. Yeah, and try to have them in no less than 3 places beside YouTube. I want to have them, you know, for my own personal use, especially the live stuff, which if I get into doing this with the videos, it'll be easier to then know exactly how to curate all of these live videos down onto my external hard drive. And that may wind up being more than one for all of my, you know, stuff. Look, here's one external hard drive for just live. Here's one for just videos of borrowed content. And then here's another one of just videos that I've created. That's not going to be a lot. But I think created videos and live videos are going to be on one, and then borrowed content videos are going to be on another. And I really need to find some of those movies that are hard to find, you know, and just bring them home from the internet and burn them, file them away, and have them. I don't necessarily want to put everything onto YouTube, but there are some videos that it's like, I gotta have that, my collection. Like when I went out and I found on the internet, I found the, Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, right? So I grabbed all the episodes of that, all the In Search Of that I could find, and then found that, you know what, I can do that In Search Of on YouTube. They'll let me do that. It's probably not going to be there forever. I think I will delete it and just suffer the consequences of fewer likes and views and that kind of stuff. Take a hit to my analytics, but whatever. It's just there to share, to let people know that it's out there, you know. And then what I'll do is I'll put, look, if there's anything here that you saw that's deleted, let me know, and I'll let you know where to find it. Right? If you can't find it on YouTube, let me know. It was on my channel and it's gone now? Okay, well look, here's where you can find it. And I'll do that kind of stuff, you know. Well, looks like I'm still alone this morning, save one fly on the wall. Bzz, bzz. Bzz, 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 bzz. Bzz, 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 bzz. Totally. Yeah, I know there was probably something else I wanted to talk about this morning. That's what happens when you just lost, man, fucking lost. I keep flashing back to Temecula, 1980, you know, the school book fair, where you can walk through and buy books, and you can order books and stuff, and then you order books, and the book fair shows up, and they give you the books that you've ordered, and they have just a whole library of books set out that you can buy more. That used to be a real heavy thing in school. The book fair would show up a few times a year, and you could buy books, and that was really the only time that I had access to getting my own books. And I could only get a few little cheap little things because it just was not in the budget for books, even though my father was a university student, and his whole life was academia. He never really, never really helped me to pursue that, even though I was like, hey, you know, I was probably one of the only ones in the family that cared about higher education, and I got to shine. But the book fairs, were really important to me because I could then go out and find stuff that I liked, right? And I was like, I'd be like, you know, oh man, the book fair, can I, you know, get a few dollars? And I'd have just enough to not be able to get exactly what I wanted, so I'd have to then again settle for something else that was like, well, I kind of wanted this. Ranger Rick, the raccoon, right? Ranger Ricky Raccoon. That was the mascot for the Scholastic Book Fair, right? But in 1980, I remember that during my years at Temecula Elementary, that was when I went to the book fair the most. They don't do that kind of stuff anymore, you know. Like, do they even have school stores anymore? Do they care about selling paper and pencils and eraser? You know, gotta plug my phone in here because I'm using it as a monitor, and it decided the battery is low. That's what I do. I kill batteries. Okay, dang. There you go. Well, shoot. Now, see, now that I've looked at the clock, now time is slowing down. That first hour and a half went by really, really quick. Mainly because I was sleepy. But, yeah, I made the mistake of looking at the clock. Totally. Yeah, I'm real. I just really get into sitting here making funny little stuff, getting to use my skills in graphic design and art and video and sound and all of those little things that I've dabbled in all over the decades, you know. And now I get to pull all of it together and make these little things, you know. And it's all of this stuff, this whole thing that I do here has totally become, in the household here, has totally become an accepted way of life for me. I get this mustache hair that keeps wanting to go up like this, right? Usually I just whack them fuckers off. But this is what I do now, you know. I'm so physically unable to do just about anything else that, you know, I'm able to drive. I'm still really good at driving. It takes a lot out of me, but I'm still a driver. So there's that. So when I got to leave town, that's not a problem. You know, I'm really good at sitting here doing this stuff, you know, and I have more fun, and it's better for me than it is for anyone else. So whether anyone else thinks I'm good at it means nothing. It's how much fun I have that tells me how good I am at doing all of this stuff. And I think I've really brought a lot to YouTube with my channel. Whether anyone else sees it or not, I think my channel has really, you know, given YouTube something different. You know, from this show to my evening show and to all of the other crap in between, whether I've created it or just borrowed it, I think I'm really bringing something, hopefully a model for future channels. All right, you know what, let's do that. Let's have some programming. You know, let's get a couple of people together to create content so that on a regular basis we're doing live stuff, and on a regular basis we're uploading videos, right? And maybe somebody's been doing this out there before, but I really can't see anybody doing it on the scale or the level that I am. I don't know. But I don't watch a lot of YouTube, right? I don't have time. I used to watch a lot of YouTube, but now I don't have time. And while I saw a lot of live stuff and a lot of daily uploads and stuff, it was nothing like this. It was more like there's that bass player, long beard and long hair. I can never remember his fucking name. But he's played for everybody. And he was, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he was doing a video log where he'd just get on and he would do a little bit of bass. He'd play along to one of his songs, and he'd talk about one of the songs and working with the different artists and stuff. I don't know if that's still happening or if he has moved on and he was just doing that because he was kind of, you know, in some downtime. I don't know. But I don't see that anyone has done something like this where they've done a daily log 5 mornings a week, you know, for as long as I've been doing it, for as many hours as I do each day. You know, that's a lot of time to sit here and empty your fucking self, you know. It is. I've been unloading onto YouTube since December of 23, right? Every day. Every day. And it started off as one meager little hour of me sitting here drinking coffee going, and then within a week or two it just evolved into and then went in a bunch of different directions, you know. At the end of episode 2, beginning of 3 kind of went weird for a while, and then it kind of evolved into a separation of all of the different ideas that I would come up with in the mornings. Rather than utilize them in the mornings, I decided, okay, well, I'm going to just use the mornings for exactly what I do here. And then if I come up with an idea, I don't try to integrate it into the morning. I try to integrate it into the channel. So the Old Time Radio Wednesdays, I had been listening to them here in the morning on the show, put on our actual record and listen to it, right? And that was okay, but it took away from this, and this is the main reason this show is here. So now I can put those things on the channel in their own little video. You can watch them if you want to show up and talk about them. That's what this is for. It's a forum, not just for me to unload, but to talk about the things that I like to talk about with people who like them, right? So the rest of the channel is just devoted to the rest of me and all of that other stuff. Family, friends, life, things that have influenced me. But what the hell's he talking about again? I don't know. He just keeps going on these weird directions. Dude, it's all right, man. It's all right. He's just evolving, man. It's just cool. Yeah. I just think he can't shut up. I think you got something there. Ding. Yeah. 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 Honestly, I could probably just go back to sleep. I stayed up too late last night. I was up till after midnight. I was sitting here till just before midnight, working on my graphics. I had to all right, I got one more graphic to do, man. I gotta find the stuff for that, you know. And I finally had to go to the internet and recapture the picture that I used for it. It was the Captain Midnight, a biplane flying into the sunset, you know. So I did that. I found it. I black and whited it. I created my graphics, put it all together. Pardon me. And put it in the correct file. And so now I can open up a file and all of my radio shows drop down. I can open up each radio show file and the drop down box shows me the graphics, the used graphics, the audio, the used audio, and then in the file itself, it's just, there are the videos that I've created, right? So now they're easily accessed for upload. They're easily accessed for curating, which means cataloging them in one file under the number the number will correspond to their update. To their upload. At the time that they were uploaded, the sequential number of when they were uploaded. That's what I was trying to say. So, yeah. So I'm just going to get into more of organizing my hard drives, external hard drives, computer hard drives. Most of what is on this new computer over here is on the desktop. I've got files on the desktop that can then be shared to the cloud and then moved over to here. That's pretty much it. There's not a lot of apps, only the apps that the computer came with, and then the apps that I uploaded for this project, right? Everything else is pretty basic, which makes it real easy for maintenance on this computer, right? And it makes it easy to keep track of what I've got on this computer. Whatever I've got on this computer that I put there are files on the desktop. And they have changed. Man, my nose just keeps bugging me. They have changed because I create stuff here, and then I'll cloud it and then pull it down over here and move it onto the hard drive, and then it'll just disappear. It's just gone. It evaporates. I gotta warm this up. But that allows me to maintain moving stuff around a lot. I gotta wake up Mom. Allows me to maintain. Oh no, it's Tuesday. Don't wake her up. Moving stuff around allows me to keep the hard drives free of clutter on the main hard drives on the computer, so that I can work. Yeah. I mainly create educational films, which means finding them, turning them into a usable YouTube format, and then saving them. So I'll usually do that over on this main new computer, and create the X-1, because the X-1 radio shows, videos, are more in detailed with the moving star field, right? So everything else I create over here, all of my old-time radio shows are created over here. That's a lot of shows. That's a lot of content to create over here. So I try to split it up. A lot of movies and some X-1 over here, and then a lot of shows over here. I think I've got it, And then to have the stuff over here that I create, I also have to have room to bring this stuff from the cloud over to here and then save it. So that takes up a lot of space and time. Time and space, man. It's where it's at, man. It's all about time and space. Wow, that's heavy. That's panoramic, man. Now I want to listen to Cars, Panorama. Totally. Yeah, being as sleepy as I am all the time, it's easy to get a head change. Usually the pain won't even allow me to feel any of the effects of this. But when you're really, really sleepy, boy, do you feel it. Oh boy, howdy. Howdy do. Yeah, wow, I just went to Nebraska there for a quick second. I'm right along the Missouri River. Before Niobrara, Nebraska, there's this little town that was emptied because when they dammed up part of the river or moved part of the river or something, the town would flood. And this little old town that was there were just a bunch of empty brick buildings, right? It was an entire town of empty buildings that had been flooded and would continue to flood and unflood and whatever. But it was really weird. I remember bringing home some little nails, the old rusty nails, and they were the square nails, the old square nails. They looked like railroad ties, right? They were the old square, because nails used to be square, because they were easy to make that way. So I remember bringing home a handful of square nails from Niobrara, Nebraska, that old little town there right on the Missouri. And then we were there because we went splashing in the water. It was hot, and we went for a swim out on the Missouri. Just wading. It was, wasn't real deep. So you go to the deepest spot and kind of lay down in the water and cool off, splash around, and then stand up, and and it's below your knees. Yeah. I also remember going to a fish and chips restaurant, which was weird, but it was more like catfish and that kind of stuff. But it was right there on the Missouri, on the border of Nebraska and South Dakota, the north of Nebraska. And I remember there being a ferry. It was the dock, the restaurant and a ferry and a dock. Yeah, I remember that. Obviously, that was 77, 78. Was right around Fallbrook, between Fallbrook and Temecula living. Totally. That was heavy. I believe that is the trip that we made out to Nebraska with my grandmother, Opal, because that's where she was from. And we went out. In fact, we hooked up with all of her family, the Fraser family, and the Mackeys, and her sister Fern, I believe. Yeah. And then we went to some powwows, ate fry bread, went to Mount Rushmore. Yeah, it was pretty heavy. Back when we used to travel a lot, it was just a way of life. We were always moving. So it was easy to wind up in places, far away places. Right? Yeah. Anyway, I get these images in my head, and I really try to explain them as best I can. But you really have to have some kind of imagination to kind of picture where I'm coming from, what I'm describing, or at least know of, what I'm talking about. Yeah, because that's the same area that we had gone to several times from, Wounded Knee on after. We went back there, a few times to do reservation-related stuff, AIM, election stuff, and then went back for family reunion type stuff, and visiting, the sightseeing, checking out the national parks, and especially Mount Rushmore. I'd love to go back to Mount Rushmore before it gets blasted off of the mountainside there by a stray comet or, idiot with something strapped to him. Totally. I'm doing this for the Kool-Aid, man. Oh, yeah. Right? What an act. Totally. Yeah, I can totally dig it, man. I can just... I am wiped out. Gee, it's just about 7 o'clock. What am I going to do for another hour? What am I going to do for an encore? Gee, you just can't follow an act like that. Well, it is totally Television Tuesday, so what I should probably do is grab a TV guide that we haven't looked at yet, and I will read from the TV guide. And thou shalt read from the book of television. Yea, unto thou who disbelieve television is the answer. Let us walk the path of the 3 major networks and examine our history.
What the hell is he talking about now? Geez, Harry, have some imagination.
All right, let me see. I'll grab the one from the back here. All right. It's a little stack of old TV guides. Let's see, put the bong away, 'cause I won't need it. Drink some coffee, because I do need it. I need it to be hot, though. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to look through this little stack of 8 TV guides. And the first one, let's see, do I want to look through this one? This one has got, somebody ripped the thing off of the front there. So it's got a little missing patch. This one has got Peter Falk as Columbo and Parliament cigarettes on the covers. This one has got, it looks like Hugh Downs, Morley Safer, no, it's Mike Wallace, Morley Safer, and Dan Rather from 60 Minutes. What Teenagers Watch and Why. It's got Carlton cigarettes on the back. And you know what? What I'll get into is I'll say, okay, this first one is 1973. Of, wow, May of 1973. The one with 60 Minutes. This one here is April of 77. Barbara Walters again. Oh, baby. Anybody have a crush on Baba Wawa? And then on the back of this one we have Now cigarettes. It's always a cigarette on the back. Do you know that? All right. Some great ads in this one. This one is from February of 77. This one is Roots, the story behind the search. And Winston cigarettes on the back. The cigarette ads always made cigarettes seem so glamorous. All right. Okay. And then this one here has Benji and his cohorts on the cover. And it is from December of 78. Benji. I've got all the Benji movies. I love Benji. Okay. Liv Ullman is on the cover. I have no idea who she is. And we have Marlboro cigarettes on the back. All right, I hope you're watching this on a big screen TV, because it's better. It's mo better. Wow, these two weirdos. Tony Roberts and Squire Fawcett. I don't have my glasses on. Close enough. These two guys from a show that didn't last. And once again, Marlboro cigarettes on the back. Teresa Graves of Get Christy Love. And man, she is hot. Right? And then, of course, on the back, Pall Mall Gold 100s. So there's all the cigarette ads. I'm just going to reach in here and grab one out of the middle here. Oh, it's Benji. So we'll look at the Benji episode of TV Guide. And in the middle, on December 5th, 1978, I have opened to Two Young Boys Struggle to Survive on Joey and Red Hawk. Oh, I remember that show. I totally remember Joey and Red Hawk. Shadows. Yeah. Chased by a gang, stalked by a mountain lion, shot at by a hermit. Wow. The first miniseries for young people today, and for the next 3 days as an exciting adventure unfolds. Wow. Chris Peterson, Guillermo San Juan, and Bert Kramer. And that is at 3 p.m. on CBS. So it's a daytime thing. It's an after-school thing. CBS wasn't known for doing after-school stuff, was they? Was they? Yeah. Afternoon Playhouse is what they call it. This is part 2. Joey and Red Hawk. The runaway Apache interrupts his flight to help Joey. His fight to help. Does it say fight or flight? I don't know. I guess either way. And his injured father and his injured father, Red Hawk. Ah. Yep, I totally remember this. I totally remember. I can right now. I can see the ranch and the house and the fence to where the horses are at. Wow. Heavy. I'll get back into that in a minute. I'm going to load up some hot coffee here. I'll be right back. All right. I added a little coffee to my cup and warmed it up. So there. All right. Let's see. Where were we? We were TV Guide from 1978, December, right? Wow. Are we going to get to December 7th? We'll see what kind of memorial propaganda is going on here. Well, there's Join the Army. There you go. Can't get more propaganda than that. All right, here we go. December 6th, December 7th. Let's see what they've got planned here. So on December 7th, 1978, they've got the Benji Very Own Christmas Story. And December 7th, 1941, the Waltons. There you go. So that's pretty heavy. The Waltons do an episode for Pearl Harbor. Then there's the Pink Panther Wants to Make Your Christmas Pink. A Pink Panther's Christmas special. And then they got a whole close-up write-up of the Day of Infamy on the Waltons. And should I read it? Should I read? I won't read it. It's a bit much. Jimmy Stewart. An all-star tribute to Jimmy Stewart tonight, December 7th. Stars include Carol Burnett, Johnny Carson, Angie Dickinson, Henry Fonda, Glenn Ford, Monty Hall, Shirley Jones, Rich Little. Of course, Rich Little is going to get up and do his... Oh, man, that was... I never liked Rich Little's impersonations. He did them well, but I just didn't like his style, you know. Maybe I just don't like impressionists. I don't know. And then there's a country Christmas special. Lynn Anderson, Loretta Lynn, Minnie Pearl, Jim Stafford, Roy Clark, the Oak Ridge Boys, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, Dennis Weaver on CBS. And then there's Time Life books, World War II. I think my father had those. Yeah, I recognize the cover. And let's see, what else was happening at 8 o'clock on December 7th? Benji's Christmas Special was the first on Channel 3. Wow. Oh. Wow, that one came out of nowhere. A double whammy. Thank you. Wild World of Animals at 7:30. $6 Million Man at 7. 6 million. Yeah, so it's nothing really starts early at 7. But by 8, we're watching the Benji Christmas Special and the Project UFO. Ooh, that was a good show. A gypsy claims that artifacts from a UFO are evidence left by the overlords she met a quarter of a century ago and who promised to return. Ryan, played by Edward Winter, Fritz, played by Kasky Swaim, and Libby, played by Aldine King. Cast includes Josh Albee, Leslie Ackerman, Anna Karen, and William Bogert. Ooh, a Nova episode looking at lasers as the light of the 21st century. This report speculates on how they may have used to speed communications and harness solar energy. Oh. Alright, also how lasers are now being put to work in medicine and probably cause as much cancer as you can remove with them, right? To remove tumors, right? Oh, there you go. And then, of course, we've got the Day of Infamy, the Waltons. See the close-up caption. The Jimmy Stewart special, a bunch of kiss asses. I bet he was very uncomfortable doing that. He probably had to go home and write a bunch of poetry over it. He was a hell of a poet. He was a really funny, wrote just great, folk story, humorous type poetry. Actually, I had one of his poetry books back in the 90s. And he wrote a lot of books of poetry. Okay, so then we got SeaWorld Goes Country. Country music, right? And that's that country music Christmas special. Barney Miller. A Luger experiences chest pains after a fiery dialogue with a jailed radical. Right? Totally. And then we've got Quincy. This is 9 p.m. by the way. On December 7th, 1978, 9 p.m. We're watching Barney Miller, and then Quincy, a cemetery mudslide unearths corpses that pose the risk of typhoid epidemic. Wow. I think I remember that episode. Oh, maybe that was the movie Poltergeist. Okay, so that SeaWorld special is not the Christmas special. It's a different country Christmas special. So here is the membership pledge drive for PBS, and then the country Christmas special with Roy Clark, among others. More membership special drives, Noches Tapatías, and then a movie, Fer de Lance, TV movie about research, sub immobilized on the Atlantic floor and crawling with deadly snakes. Wow. David Jansen, Hope Lang, Ivan Dixon, Jason Evers, Charles Knox Robinson. Wow. And then sneak previews, reviews of Ingmar Bergman's Autumn Sonata. So we got some of that. And then The Long Search is Religion, a Search of Confucianism. Okay, so it's kind of a docu-series. And then at 9:30 we have Soap, the comedy show. Nice. All right, oh, I'm sorry. I was neglecting my comments over here to see if nobody's commenting. They know better. Okay. Mo better. Mo better. Okay. So let's see. Oh wow, there's a long description of what's going on Soap. But isn't that the show, right? Eunice and Dutch and Jennifer Salt. Jennifer Salt is Eunice, right? Okay, so then we got more pledge drive, Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. Never heard of it. Elizabeth, Pauline Yates, gets a job with Reggie's old boss, but hides the news from her husband. Oh. And of course, comedy ensues. There you go. All right, so now it's 10 p.m. on December 7th, 1978. And the show Family with Meredith Baxter Burney. Meredith Baxter Burney. She was a weird one, wasn't she? She's the one that later moved to Family Ties, right? And then as she got older, she got more disillusioned by Hollywood, as most of them should, and stopped subscribing to all of that shit that gets put on you. And you have to do this, you have to act like this, you have to lose weight, you have to, wear makeup, and you have to do all of this. And she just said, fuck it, so good on her. Yeah, so that's on David Cassidy, Man Undercover, crime drama. David Cassidy, tries to learn who is behind murders of several prostitutes. Simon Oakland is in that. Wow. Cool. Heather Thomas has got a small part in that. Duchess of Duke Street. And that is, I don't know what the hell that is.
What the hell is that?
And then we got an all-star tribute to Jimmy Stewart later at 10 p.m. Well, at 10 p.m., but down the line here on Channel 12. And then some more membership pledge. Ven conmigo, that means come here, friend. Talk back. And then movie, biography. Isadora Duncan, 1966. Director Ken Russell employs stylized vignettes to tell a story of controversy. Dance innovator Isadora Duncan. Weird. More pledge drive. More Duchess of Duke Street. And then at 11, we've got some Hogan's Heroes coming on late. And Los Hermanos Core. And then some Starsky and Hutch. These are probably all reruns. Johnny Carson. Who's on Johnny Carson? George Carlin. Right on. He was always a good guest on Johnny Carson. A rerun of MASH. They're looking for the dog that bit Radar. A few episodes of Dick Cavett. Pumping Iron is on at 12 midnight. Columbo. Later on, SWAT. And then we go up to 2 a.m. and it is the end of broadcasting day, and there's nothing listed after 2 a.m. before 6 p.m. That's it. 4 hours of shut up and go to bed. There ain't nothing on. Be a good little slave and go to bed. Let's see, what do we wake up with? All right, here we go. PTL Club. Oh man, I used to like, oh, is there anything else on? 625 Romper Room. Not for women only. History of Mexico. Now there's something I would have had on. I would have been sitting watching, you know, senoritas twirling in their dresses and guys working their asses off, you know, great Mexican villages and stuff. So let's see, Romper Room, Right to Know, Bugs Bunny and Friends, Job Call, Farm Report. God, I remember the Farm Report. More Noticias. Good Morning America with David Hartman. Paul Newman is scheduled. Today with Tom Brokaw. CBS News. Stahl and Trelkid. I don't know. Yogi and Huck. So that'd be Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Hound, I think. Popeye. Lilia's Yoga and You. Captain Kangaroo. Sesame Street. Flintstones. Mr. Rogers. Fred Flintstone and Friends. Wow, this is getting good. Mr. Rogers and some more PTL Club. Card Sharks, Sesame Street, and of course, what else do you want kids to watch at 9 a.m. in the morning? All in the Family. Let's give them a little Archie Bunker. Right next to that is Phil Donahue with guest singer Bobby Vinton. Every day, a show, talk show, I guess. Actress Margot Kidder and author Ralph Chiarelli. How to Get the Upper Hand. Our guests also look at the collection of diamonds. Co-host Stephanie Edwards, John Bennett Perry. And then Mike Douglas, Phil Donahue, The Odd Couple, Price is Right, Happy Days, Electric Company, Doris Day, All in the Family. They got a lot of game shows and shit on during the day back then. And into the soaps. And into the soaps. By 11 a.m., we're watching The Young and the Restless. Right? And then Ryan's Hope, Search for Tomorrow, what other? All My Children, Days of Our Lives, One Life to Live, Doctors, The Guiding Light, General Hospital, the soap operas, Edge of Night, that was a weird one. Afternoon Playhouse, the conclusion of Joey and Red Hawk. Let's see, what else do we have for soap operas? It's getting late in the afternoon, so soap operas are pretty much done. They were done by 3, and then it was on for the kids to come home. Mom had to get up and get away from the TV and let the kids have the TV. So kids get home from school by 3 o'clock. They're watching the Flintstones, Afternoon Playhouse, Zoom, Our Gang, The Brady Bunch, Electric Company, Joker's Wild, Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse Club, the new Mickey Mouse Club. And this is in 78, right? How many incarnations have that show been? A young pianist and singer are guests on Showtime Day. Ooh. And then Mike Douglas, of course. Let's see, My Three Sons, Brady Bunch, Sesame Street. What other kids shows do we have on? That's pretty much it. We're done for kids shows, and we're moving into Mom and Dad are getting home, and they want to watch Merv Griffin and Bonanza and My Three Sons and that kind of crap. But Mr. Rogers is on again. Get Smart, $6 Million Man, Hogan's Heroes. Where's the 6 o'clock news? 6 o'clock news. 6, 12, 17, 23, 47. 6:30 news. 3, 24, 30. 6 NBC News. 12:17 CBS News. Walter Cronkite. Over Easy with Hugh Downs. Chancellor and Brinkley, NBC News. Yeah, we got a lot of the ABC News on 47. ABC News on Channel 3. And NBC News, Chancellor Brinkley. So by 7:30, we're done with news, and we're moving into stuff like the Muppets. Wow. Here's a Christmas special with Marie Osmond. Her first romantic role, The Gift of Love. Boy, that smile. That smile, any one of her family members smile, and they got the same smile. They must have patented those teeth. Or they all had the same dentist. A special Sesame Street Christmas. That's always great. Oh, man. Danny Thomas. And, of course, there's Bob Hope. Hey, look, there's Christy McNichol, skateboarding. Right on, chick, you go. I love Christy McNichol. See her on Facebook all the time. Just beautiful. Beautiful. Ooh. Late at night, we got Rockford Files on at, what is that, 9 o'clock, yeah. A notorious scandal sheet and underworld thugs go after Rockford as he digs up into a shooting of a prominent showbiz doctor. Bo Hopkins as Cooper, Joe Santos as Becker, the Lieutenant Becker, and Louis Delgado as Billings. Also, we've got Scott Bradley, Scott Marlowe, Rose Girorio, Gianni Russo, and Pat Renelia. Fuck it. So there's a little bit of a TV guide reading there for you, just to let you know that I can read. I can do that. Ah, jeez. coffee's still not waking me up. I keep drinking it, but it's not. I make it pretty strong. Let me go warm this up a little. Maybe that'll help. All right, Ace, take it easy. Right? Oh my God, why is he doing that? Is it like a nervous tick or something? I'm a nervous tick. Twit with a CH at the end. That's it. That's me. Let's take a look at another TV guide. I'll just grab one out of here. What is this? Liv Ullman, Scenes from a Marriage. In fact, this one, let's look at the ads. Let's look at the ads. We've got fit and trim dog food, right? And we've got AC Delco spark plugs alongside that. So I hope you're looking at this on a big screen TV or really close to your phone. And then, okay, this is the Tarryton 100s, and this is one of those cigarettes where, if you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the woman in the ad, she's got makeup over her eyes, so it looks like she's got a black eye, right? I don't know. Oh, because they got a black eye because they would rather fight than switch. Tell that to the oncologist, right? What other ads do we have in this one? Right Guard. We've got a Right Guard ad there. Let's say, it works longer than you do. Ooh, well, there's a slogan. There's those ad men hard at work. So, Right Guard. Kraft macaroni and cheese. Kraft dinners, because pasta and powdered cheese is considered a meal. Ugh, the downfall of America's diet, right? Processed garbage. Looks like they've got a good thing up here on the Rockford Files. Yeah. Ooh, a whole big thing with a lot of animated stuff on Jim Rockford. I guess they probably couldn't get him to cooperate with any photos. And he probably said, you know what, I'm not getting anything off of this anymore. Why don't you guys pay me some fucking money to use my image in your TV guide, right? And they probably said, we don't do that. Well, you draw stuff, you used to draw stuff for the covers, right? Why don't you just draw me? So they did, and they did not make him look at all attractive. He looks like Frankenstein, to be quite honest. So if you can get a close-up of that, I don't know if you can, but he looks like friggin' Frankenstein. A hunchback, frickin' long, lanky, bony Frankenstein. And then, of course, we got Winston Lights, and this dude, of course, if you're really good looking, you're going to want to smoke cigarettes. And be sure to smoke Lights, Winston Lights. So there you go. Amtrak, Track Down America, U.S. Rail Pass. 14 days of unlimited travel for only $165. 14 days of unlimited travel. That means you could travel around the country in 2 weeks, right? If you plan it right, you could just boom, 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 around the country. You might have to sleep on that damn train in a chair, but hey, if you plan it, so look, I'm going to take the train to here and I'm going to stay here for a day. There's a day on the train, and then you could bop all over them. You could backtrack and still stay in different places. That'd be great. Let's see. And then we have wet ones. Now, I didn't know wet ones went back that far. We've got an ad here for wet ones. That's pretty heavy. And then a network special, $1.41. I don't know what that means. Okay, we got Benson and Hedges 100s, cigarettes again. There's a lot of cigarette ads in these things. They're all cigarette ads. And then what do we got? Magazine subscriptions. You can subscribe to a bunch of magazines and save up to 50 cents. This is when America read, when we would read all the time. Now we just peruse through posts, and if there's a good picture, then we might read a little bit. We don't even want to read captions. It's ridiculous. Looks like there's a little bit of this. Looks like this was cut wrong in the processing, which is great. It makes it one of those unique, you know, the bottom of the page is cut off. That's different. Yeah. If you have iron poor blood, all the vitamins of the world won't help. And the bottom of the page is cut off, which is probably what had the tagline for whatever that ad was. Vitamins. Buy them now, fuckers. Or see a doctor, right? Because vitamins don't do it. If you can solve this puzzle, you could win $2,500 cash. American sweepstakes. Okay, the puzzle is it's a cake with a piece missing, so you can see that it's cake, plus a train on a track with the engine and two cars and a kind of a caboose, minus a cat, plus a nest with eggs in it, minus a star, a dark, solid black star, minus I, plus opposite of wet, minus R. Wow. And then it gives you equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. Right? And I am going to take this to the camera so that if there's anybody watching, they can check this out and see what they think about this. Okay, so if you didn't get enough of that, you'll have to freeze the thing, go back and freeze it at some point to look at it. Or maybe you took a picture of it or something. That's what my daughter would have done. She just pulled out her camera, taken a picture of it, and then be looking at it. She's so quick, it's so smart. Okay, Future Cop. Ah, Future Cop. I just put one of these promos to Future Cop. Hi. Hi. I just put one of those promos to Future Cop. All right, so what else are we selling? The doctor's pill that helps you conquer fat forever. Total, what was it called? I don't know, some weird fucking name. Alright, any more ads? Because we're looking at this one for ads. 622 tomatoes from just one single plant. And here are the special seeds to do it. There you go. Let's see. High school at home in your spare time. Your opportunity. Have fun and make money too. Host a cameo class and make money at home. You can design practically anything at home. T-shirts too and have fun. Huh. That sounds interesting. Half hour to go. Let's see what else we can squeeze into this half hour. Come in fat and walk out thin. Alfred W. Ferris, MD, will do body shaping. Oh, liposuction. Ooh, early liposuction. Here's the ad. It's a nice, fun little ad, you know, early graphic design crap. Carlton's is the lowest. Carlton cigarettes is the lowest tar. 5-poster collection depicting famous wines of the Medoc. And it gives you, so here's the Carltons, and then the list of wines that you get in a poster. Okay. That's neat. What else? I know there's always ads. Asparagus fern. Let's get seeds for an asparagus fern and a jingle ball. Right? Nice. The ads were so cool. Cook 'em quick. A hobo stove. Ooh, a neat little rocket stove that you can make. Buy for $6.95. Bright hot coals in minutes. It looks like one of those cans that you use to stick paper in and hot coal or cold coals and light it up, and it gets your coals hot, and then you dump that into your barbecue. It looks like one of those, only it's an actual rocket stove. What they call a rocket stove now. A fantastic worm in the bank. A worm in the apple option bank. $2.98, and it's this cute little apple, and you set a penny down, and you push a thing, and the apple opens up, and a worm comes out and pulls the penny in. That's cute. That's just totally cute. Isn't it, though? Let's see, we got stuff for new medication helps relieve pain and soothes irritation for canker sores. Them good old canker sores. Darn it. Weight loss centers, more medical weight loss here. Fresno. So this is in Fresno. All right, hey, this is California. And what other ads do we have here? Like totally, Time Life Books is going to give us the gardening one. Ooh, I remember some of these, the gardening books, house plants and stuff. Those were pretty cool. Yeah, you get your Time Life books and garden at home in your spare time. Grow live stuff. Yeah. Ooh, jumpsuits. Let's get some jumpsuits. Maybe they're jumpsuit patterns. You can make your own jumpsuits. Totally. Yeah. Let's buy some jumpsuits, man. We'll be jumpy. A little bit jumpy. AT&T, in search of the real America. The American Bicentennial Collection. Since the Bicentennial is now over in 77, we can still put together all of the stuff from the Bicentennial. And here is a Bicentennial collection of coins and a $1 bill in a nice little frame there. Now that is pretty cool. That I would really love to have one of those. Probably never survived. They probably got busted into by some tweaker kid and spent on a bag of crack back in the 1990s. So those were all probably cracked out. Permathene 12 trims fat away. Wow, Permathene 12. I wonder how many people died from all of this crap. Jeez Louise. Laugh at the weather in your airflow capless wig. Yeah, $8 for a wig. You probably ain't going to get any value out of that. Afternoon special, the horrible honchos. Nice. Some of the kids look familiar, but I can't really tell, and they don't give me any names right there. It's at 4 p.m. Okay, here we go. Christian Jutner, Kim Richards, Tara Talboy, Christopher Maliki, Billy J. Jacoby, and Lawrence Hayden. All right. In Search of the Mummy's Curse. Nice. And we've got Coors, right? Coors Banquet Beer. Before they called it Banquet Beer, it was just Coors. Now, of course, to look at the old label, they call it Banquet Beer. The old label, the old school bottle. You know, here we go. I don't know if you can see that. But there's that. And let's see, Charles Bronson and Mr. Majestic. I just watched that. Great friggin' movie. Great movie. The legendary Glenn Miller Orchestra, and you can buy a collection of LPs there. All right, Vantage Longs cigarettes. That's always cool stuff there. Ooh, look, Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger. No. There we go. All right, the Lone Ranger. Any other ads here? The Tall Ships, official commemorative print, and it's a bunch of ships right here with their sails up, full sails. Some of them have full sails, some of them don't. That's kind of funny. A bunch of ships together, all under different sail. Any other ads here? A Circle of Children, Matthew Laberteau and Jane Alexander. Oh no. Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. Oy. Por favor, no. The Great Canadian, starring Canadian Mist. You can't have anything mixed drinks without Canadian Mist. An ad for TV Guide with John Travolta on the cover. That's cool. Vinnie Barbarino. Yo, Vinnie Barbarino. Hey, Vinnie. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Ooh, I remember that movie. I watched that a few years back. The Saga of the Fenwick Women. And it's a collection of, looks like a little novel thing going on here. And hardcover, softcover, large print. That kind of stuff. And then, of course, right into Columbia House Records and Tapes, and we have the whole thing there, so you could pick out the tapes that you want and order your 8-track tapes. Yeah, let's look at a couple of these 8-tracks here. Let's pick one here. Art Garfunkel, Breakaway. What is this? Earl Scruggs Review Volume 2. This is the Moody Blues. ZZ Top, Fandango, Sweet, Give Us a Wink. I've got most of those. But most of these I've got. And then, of course, that whole interview thing with Liv Ullmann. And then we've got an ad for Salem menthol cigarettes. Salem's. Good old Salem's. And then Bell Telephone and a girl pulling out one of her teeth. Probably because she's been smoking crack. And then let's see what else we've got here. Try a Little Tenderness. It looks like a recipe for something. So here's the photo of what it should look like when you're done. And then on the next page, it is the recipes for everything on that page. So we've got Hungarian Zaleki goulash with dumplings. And then it shows you how to make the dumplings and the goulash. And then it gives you a quick sauerbraten recipe and rolled stuffed flank steak recipe. And then, of course, it shows you the goulash and the dumplings on the photograph. Oh, there's the trash man. And then Dinty Mo stew, right? There you go. There's that. Do we have any more stew? I think the kids finished off the stew. I'm going to have to make another pot of something. And Kent cigarettes, and they're comparing themselves to all of the other menthol cigarettes that are out there. The other ones are Salem Lights, Bel Air, Cool Miles, Vantage, Doral, Alpine, I remember Alpine, and Merit. And of course Kent's, the Golden Lights, they have to be better. Double Mint Gum, of course, it's not a set of twins. Let's see, Gaviscon by Marion Laboratories is going to help you shave off the fat, right? So my God, I'm so skinny now. And then Tegrin, is that what that is? Tegrin for dry skin, right? So we've got your Gaviscon over here and your Tegrin over here. And then, let's see, there's got to be more cigarette ads here. Oop. The television crossword, and let's pick one here. Serial, Days of Blank Lives. Oh, well, that's an easy one. Different flare pens for different kinds of writing. Flare pens. I remember flare pens. Wow. That's school stuff. That's stuff you get at the Scholastic Book Fair or the school bookstore, right? Good old flare pens. And then I was wrong. There's no more. There's a Tylenol ad here. And then at the very last page, of course, because always on the end, back cover, Marlboros. There's always a cigarette ad on the back of the cover of TV Guide back then. And then I think in the 80s, it went from usually being a cigarette ad to being a booze ad for a little while, and then it went to those commemorative ads where you could buy commemorative plates and coins and, you know, there's the Princess Di collection, that kind of shit. And then those were always on the back cover. Or they would use the back cover to bump up all of the Columbia House stuff, right? And then you just tear off the back cover, if I remember correctly. So totally. What else have we got going on? So last night I didn't do a nighttime show. I'm probably going to do one this evening. I've already got it set up. I've already got my opening rearranged. So if you're going to come and watch a nighttime show, it should be a lot of fun. My opening credits are going to start about 6 minutes before the show. Goes the trash man. See if he hits the tree. Yeah, they hit it pretty regularly, so they keep it pretty trimmed up. Always snapping branches off. Totally. But yeah, so this evening I'm going to do a nice little nighttime show, and that should be fun. I'll be probably off and on all day. I'll be putting together the rest of the radio shows for August. And then at some point this week, I'll go through and I'll upload all of the content for next week and then make my cards, introduce them into the appropriate videos and advertising spots, the promo spots. And try to free up the weekend so I can hopefully work on, if not work, then work on some projects around the house. Shit that's got to be done. It's just got to be done. I need to rearrange my cameras so everything's in this room. I've got a camera over in that room over there. I need to bring it in, zoom it out, and bring it in a little closer, and use it over here for a couple of different things. Have it set so I can aim it in a couple of different directions and get more use out of it. The camera that's over my head can be angled down directly at me, and I can look up at it. It's okay. I think I'm going to put a camera here and turn my stuff a little bit so that I got a camera here looking at me and a camera up here looking down at me, and then another camera looking at other weird stuff. My lava lamp, my radio. So that'll be cool. We've got some more TV guides here we can save for another day. I've got hundreds of TV guides, or yeah, upward of a couple hundred, which is cool. So we can dig into them now and again on Tuesday and enjoy a little visit into the past. At some point, I want to get some little USB cameras set up so that I can punch them up and share with you another view. I got dry nose. Arr. But yeah, I hope somebody out there is having is a little entertained, or is at least having half as much fun as I am, because I'm having a ball doing all of this crap. Most of the stuff that I do just involves me in the computer. Whether it gets uploaded or not, I'm still going to make the video. I'm still going to do this and that, because it's just fun, It's just fun. And the more I do, the more I learn, the more I'm able to do. And so then when I get to where I want to create something for myself, it's like, oh yeah, I've got all these great ideas lined up with these elements that I've found. And then all of the things that I'm allowed to use, all of the things at my fingertips, the special effects and the sound and the music and the photos and the videos and stuff that I'm able to use copyright free. That makes it even bigger. So yeah, I keep having flashes of the video that I want to create, and as soon as those flashes take up most of my time, then I'm just going to have to sit down and do it. Once I start writing notes and start writing out, arranging, what it should look like, then I just put all of that aside and just dive into it and just start doing it. And it's coming close, Nami. It's coming close now. So yeah, boy, howdy. I want to dip into my little stash here and see what else we got. What have I been doing this morning? Blue cookies. I've been doing this hybrid this morning. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I like to keep mixing it up, Keep mixing it up. They had a special on my brand, so I went ahead and picked up a little bit extra because it was really cheap that way to get a little extra. So, which is good because I hate running out, and at least now I have a buffer zone, so I can still get my once a week prescription, but I have a little buffer in case I don't make a certain delivery date or time, or forget to order. Right? Coffee. So let's see. I am going to do a little bit of breakfast here soon, and real soon, and start. Let's see. I'll get dressed, get some food, get some coffee and my wife, and then we'll get motivated and do something before it gets hot. And then if she's got nothing going on today, well then more than likely we'll just lay around and relax and try to talk her into watching a little TV with me. Maybe put a movie on for my channel and we'll sit and watch that. Because I'm starting to upload stuff now that she'll enjoy, stuff that's even in Espanol. So that's cool. And a lot of the educational films and things that I'm uploading as content, they're really interesting, They're fun, they're interesting. Yeah. Totally. It's totally, man. Far out. And it's a fine balance here between getting too stoned and tired and just killing pain, you know, and depending on what weed I'm playing with, it can go either way real quick, you know. I'm drinking a little bit extra coffee here because this stuff's a little kind of got a little sleepiness in it. But I'm ready for some food. I'm totally ready for some chow. I don't know whether I think maybe it's just going to be that biscuit and gravy because I can just throw that on a plate and heat it up with a little orange juice, and I'm good for a couple of hours, and then have some pizza, and then probably lay down for a couple of hours, and then get up and work on video stuff and do my live show this evening. And in between all of that, probably be working on some kind of content. Right now, I think I'm working on The Lone Ranger is the first one up on my list. So I'll grab one of my books down here and open it up to the page that I'm working on. And yes, it is indeed The Lone Ranger. I have to create six videos from this list. 6 Lone Ranger episodes. The theft of horse, the theft of silver, Lone Ranger's horse, right? The Apache Kid. So this will be fun. So I get into doing this. I've created all the graphics. I have found all of the audio and have it saved. So it's just a matter of opening up the program and going to the Lone Ranger video file, opening it up, removing the last sound, putting in the new sound, removing the last graphics, putting in the new graphics, and hitting save. I adjust a couple of things, fade stuff in and out, and then just hit save, and that's it. It usually takes 5 minutes to create a video that way, or less. Running through, changing the file name, putting the new graphics and audio in, adjusting the fade, checking to make sure that everything comes in and out, make sure that it has a beginning and an end. That's important. Sometimes it cuts off, and it's like, oh crap, and I have to go try to find another copy. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And then I have to just put incomplete episode. But that's it, and then it'll take anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour and a half to save the episode, depending on the speed of my computer and the size of the file, how many elements are moving. So I've decided to cut down on my elements. I would put up a photograph, and then I'd add a title, and then add a graphic, and then add and add and add. Now I took that and put it onto a program, altered it the way I want it to so I don't have to do that effect, added the title and the Old Time Radio Wednesday thing so I don't have to add those as different elements. So they fade in and out together as one picture. And now I just have to drop in the title and then later bring in the date. So it's an easier save. I don't have to overlay black and white because I've already made it black and white. So I've done that with all of my shows now. So to make it easier to deal with creating the videos and make it an easier upload, a smaller video file, that kind of stuff. So I'm learning. The more I learn, the easier it is, so that when I make a video for myself, I've got these things worked out ahead of time, and I'm not learning then. I'm just learning on how I want to create it. So there you go. Well, this has been a good show technically. No glitches, no freeze up. I don't think I've seen it drop any, but then I'm not watching it full time, so there's that. And I don't think I did too much venting or ranting and raving and raging about stuff. I think I did. I was pretty subdued today. So let's see. What do we got to talk about? This evening at 5 p.m., Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia, I'm going to be playing some more of everybody. Al Jolson, Freddie Martin, Smith Ballou, Seeger Ellis, Ray Noble, Freddie March, Baby Rosemary, Just a bunch of everybody. Yeah. Yeah, Chick Endor and Charlie Farrell. There's some good stuff there. So I'm gonna be back this evening doing that. Today on the channel, we've got a bunch of stuff, of course, this week premiering. We've had a few things premiere already this week. In Search of Inca Treasure tonight. Last night we had Nova Artists in the Lab. That's a good one. Fabricantes Mexicanos de Hojas. That's the making of those little vases and jars and stuff. Mexican American tomorrow. Mexican American. And Frank Lloyd Wright on Thursday. That's incredible on Thursday. Geronimo Jones on Friday. Silver Caravan, and just radio shows up the wazoo. I mean, and when I say wazoo, I mean all the way up in that wazoo. Everywhere. Oh, yeah. All right. I am going to put on my morning show closing, and I am going to bid you all a farewell so that I can get my act together and do some stuff today. I feel like I want to be productive. So I'm gonna try to be productive. I'm gonna be productive. All right. Let's see, load that up. Get past the squawking of this color bars here. Make sure my sound is all right. Okay, people. Love you all. Take care. Be kind. Spread love and happiness. And most especially, stay weird. I'll see you this evening, people. Adios. Thanks for stopping by.